So while we're just waiting on one more thing to get started, I can.
Wait.
What's up?
Wait.
What's up?
Wait.
Oh,
Is there something going on? Okay. Sorry. Okay, we're doing the countdown right now. All right, so we're starting in 10.
okay, sounds good.
All right, we're starting in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Are they starting? Or am I behind?
Oh, they have their own stream delay. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Okay.
So one of the first things that everyone always does is that in the original game, when you do the Ghost Medal side quest, a key item flag gets put under Mario's bed. So the key items are shuffled. So instead, they found a completely different key item under his bed, but that is always there at the start of the game.
Right. Looks like Essenby is opting to go right into Mushroom Way and save Toad for Toad's items.
This is cool. They all took completely different starting routes. These four guys, I know Locke, Gozangata, and Essenby, they all like to do the weekly races, which I think happen on Saturdays or Sundays. They're sometime on the weekend. And Teravan also, I think, has joined a couple as well. So these are all pretty experienced players on this flag set. They've been practicing it for a little while, and it looks like Teravan is going straight for the Dodo minigame. One of the things that we should probably point out about this minigame is that Dodo and Booster in the original game, if you choose to fight them, then you don't get the accessory that they drop. So one of the options this Randomizer gives you is that if you win their minigame, which in the original game would prevent you from fighting them, you get the drop, but also they choose to go stand in the corner instead of disappearing, so you can also do the boss fight, because the star pieces are also shuffled. You don't know which of the bosses are going to have a star piece.
Yeah, that was mostly to increase the options of where the bosses could be, and also oh man, I forgot what I was gonna say. They're just cool boss fights to have, because otherwise you would just never see them.
So Steenote, Star Hill is a potential star piece. Just like any of the bosses are potential star pieces, but it's not necessarily guaranteed to be there if you're shuffling the star piece locations.
So we're also seeing that Essenby found, I believe Essenby found a coin trick accessory in Mushroom Way. The coin trick is unique in that even with randomized equip stats, the coin trick will always have the property that when somebody is wearing it, you get twice the amount of coins for every battle that you would normally get. That is a big thing, because before we had randomized chests, we already knew where all of the massive coin chests were in the overworld, and it was quite easy to get money. But now the chests are randomized, we don't have that guarantee anymore, and sometimes it could be harder to find coins, especially now that the shops have been rebalanced, so that prices more reflect what the items do.
Yeah. They're going for the... Oh. That's going for the hidden chest.
Yeah, so some of you probably noticed already, they found the super suit in the shop there. I think that was in Rosetown, I believe.
Gozen is going for the free item that Teravan got from Dodo as well. I think I saw Teravan picked up the rare frog coin from the key item slot in Nimbus Castle, which in the original game was Castle Key 1 that gets you into Birdo's room. He picked up the rare frog coin, which can be turned into the Mushroom Kingdom shop for another key item, which in the original game gave you the cricket pie.
Yep, so basically what this means is when you're shuffling key items, we have item placement logic similar to the Link to the Past randomizer. So, for example, the rare frog coin we got, that unlocks that spot where the cricket pie is in Mushroom Kingdom, but that could be an item that you need for progression. So, for example, like if the Birdo spot or the Valentina spot has a star, you need the keys for Nimbus Land Castle to get in there. So you got to go hunt for it.
I just saw SMBI also picked up a star egg from the vault in Mushroom Kingdom. That is like a pretty good item to have early on in the game when your stats are not that great. A lot of the times you can find, actually in this flag set I believe every item appears in the shop at least once, so you're guaranteed to find rock candies somewhere, but rock candies are quite expensive. A star egg is an item that deals 100 damage across the field, 150 if the attacker has Geno Boost, and it's usable infinite times. So that can be really nice early on if you're on a boss slot that's like maybe a big group fight like Axons or something and you have no way to deal massive damage without getting killed in the first turn.
Yeah. The infinite nature of it is very handy throughout the rainbow. Although the price you pay is the animation time is very long.
That's right, and in a race setting that can really be a huge deal, whereas in a casual playthrough everyone loves getting the star flag early.
Yeah, so we haven't actually talked about the equipment yet. We've seen a few shops so far, including the attack scarf and the super suit in one of the spots. But what we did with the equipment is we altered the description, the text description of the equipment, to have some special symbols in there that allow us to just show what the actual stats for each piece of equipment is when you're looking at it in the shop. So you'll know how much you're going to go up or down for each of your main stats, and it will also show you if it has any special properties that protect you from status effects or elemental damage.
Which is very nice even if you're using no equip randomization, because some of the original game's descriptions were not all that descriptive. For example, the safety badge doesn't actually tell you that it blocks every status effect.
Safety ring.
Safety ring as well, but safety badge specifically says blocks mute and poison attacks. It also blocks sleep and everything else.
Oh.
Yeah, Terravan abusing some bombs there for the Zard Dragon.
That's a very good decision.
Yeah.
Bombs in this game, Ice Bomb, Fire Bomb, Rock Candy, Fright Bomb, etc., they all do a set amount of damage, and they can also have their damage output increased based on elemental weaknesses, as well as if the attacker used Geno Boost. So it's a very smart idea to grab some early on if you find yourself walled at a boss. However, finding yourself walled at a boss is not often a thing, because there is just so much of the world map open at the start of the game.
Yo, Lockie hit the mist chest.
There it is. I said it right before this race started. That is exactly one chest every randomizer, and Locke already found it.
We found the validation chest.
Locke loves to play on the hardest settings imaginable, so I'm not surprised that he's the one that found it. The settings that you're seeing today are kind of like, they're quite chaotic. A lot of things are randomized. The neat thing about this randomizer is that you can really customize it to whatever your preferences are. Like me personally, I use a lot of vanilla settings. Like I use vanilla equips, vanilla character stats, but you can randomize those if you want. There are a lot of settings on our site, and we do have a couple of presets available for people that are just starting out.
So, in order to get the key item in the Kyoto sewers, you need to actually go through Land's End to make it appear correctly. And what he just got just now was a shed key, which is a very good item to get early, because it opens up a huge list of shops that tend to have a lot of good gear. Ooh, and he's getting the Axum Rangers, which probably will not end well.
Yeah, the Axum Rangers are tough anywhere, because even though the boss shuffle logic works so that their stats are scaled down to whatever slot they're appearing in, you know, a Breaker Beam is still a Breaker Beam. You're probably still gonna die if you get hit by it at level 1.
Yeah, you know how the boss shuffle flag in Free Enterprise says, you know, a Mega Nuke is still a Mega Nuke, save often. Well, that also applies here.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times, if you have a red essence and you run into the Axum Rangers, pretty much anywhere, you're probably going to want to use it unless you find them like super late in the game when it doesn't matter that much and you've got tons of AoEs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and exactly. There's a lot of... That's right, Void Lily. There's, 5 enemies in that fight, so there's a lot of turns that you have to go through. The upside is the way that the boss shuffle works with the stat scaling. The stats get scaled down, and the overall hit points for that slot get split among all of the enemies. So if the Axum Rangers is at, one of the early game spots, they're not going to have very much HP at least, but they're still going to deal a lot of damage. So that's a thing.
So quite a few of our racers have gone to Nimbus Land early. That is like kind of a risky check to make because it's really, really hard to get out of there once you've gotten in. Because the hallways are blocked by endgame enemies, and I usually go for it, and about half the time I end up really regretting it. SMBI right now is going into Pipe Vault, which in the original game is just like, it's basically a treasure trove. There's a ton of chests in here, and once you get out, there's a key item check at Yoster Isle. A lot of the key items in this randomizer will just give you an equip. Like, I think 10 of them will give you, no, not 10 of them. There's like 5 of them that'll give you equips. And there are only a couple that are required for progression. The Bambino Bomb opens the second half of Moleville Mines. Castle Key 1 and 2 open the rest of the rooms in Nimbus Castle. The rest are mostly just kind of like, they might get you some nifty things along the way.
Yeah. It's a shame no one's gone Goomba Thumping yet. I was hoping to see that. But it's pretty slow, so I understand.
Yeah, you might think, you know, diving a late game location early can be a good play, but yeah, if you happen to run into an enemy, you might think, oh, I can just avoid all the enemies. But, you know, if you make a mistake and you aren't able to run because the RNG gods do not smile, you're in trouble.
Yeah. And if they're just faster and they have a big AoE spell, they might just wipe you anyway. Just for running into them.
Yep. I believe with this set of flags, I think the boss, the enemy stats are shuffled as well, so they might, you know, the speed might be faster than they normally.
Zardragon really sucks to run into because he has very, very powerful magic and counters, I think, 33% chance on all damage that he takes. So that can be kind of rough, especially if you don't know how to time his blocks. But you know what? Locke is an experienced player. This randomizer, he's doing good. And Gozen is about to do it.
Yes, I see we've got the music for the boss fights is also shuffled as well. That's an option we have.
I like that option.
That is a good option.
Yeah, we had debated whether or not to allow the Smithy theme to show up more than once, or, you know, the Culex theme, and we figured, well, you know, they're so good, let's let them show up more if they want to.
It'd be a waste otherwise, you know?
If anybody's curious, the way that the equipment stats are currently shuffled is that the stats are random, but the randomization is based off of what the original value for each status was. So the attack scarf in most seeds ends up being very good. And some of the worst end items still don't end up being like overpowered or anything. One of the runners of this randomizer, Amazing Amfrost, has actually come up with like some ideas to change how the logic works, but we are like interested in seeing more feedback on that on the GitHub fork that he made. But at the moment, everything is kind of randomized based on the original stats.
Yeah, so that's generally true that, you know, the stronger an item is in vanilla, the more likely it is to be good here in general. But you've probably noticed, even though we managed to find, you know, the super suit, the attack scarf in some of the shops there, they're very expensive. So the prices for the items go way above what they are in vanilla, because one of the modifications that we've made with the randomizer is that you can now have up to 9,999 coins. So the shop prices reflect that accordingly.
Yeah. So, Lucky and SMBI just had a star, where it normally was changed. So, they expected a star and they didn't get it. And but the other chest that normally has a flower had the star. So, SMBI skipped it, but Lucky actually got it. And, they're only slightly randomized whether or not a star is there. It'll be more in the future, but for right now, it's a little limited. But yeah,
I really need to teach everybody about how to get the chest in the Land's End flower room, because I always see people get into encounters, and there's a really, really easy way to not do it.
What's in the flower room?
Yeah, so in general, I think we mentioned generally these are a kind of a chaotic set of flags. So the chests and shop shuffle both are in kind of a chaotic mode right now. So essentially what that means is that the chest and shop shuffle can have basically almost any item in the game in it. So this gives a lot of variety in what you might find. You might find some really strong stuff early on.
Ooh. Esenbai died to Croco too. And
Oof.
no loss saved. Oof.
I think that was...
Oh, sorry, Gozen got him. Gozen got him, my bad.
Yeah, that's rough. Getting the Earthlink fight anywhere is gonna be pretty hard because you can block most of Earthlink and Cloaker's attacks, but there's one that you can't block. Earthlink's poison attack is the strongest move, and you cannot block it. If you're not familiar with SMRPG time hits, there is a system in place in the game where if you block an attack within a 5-frame window, you take 0 damage from it. But that only applies to attacks where you see a bunch of rainbow stars fly out of your head. Anything that doesn't have that, you can't block it.
Yeah, and Gozen got it might have been through bombs or something else, but he ended up in the Mad Adder fight. At low level, Mega Nuke is still Mega Nuke. it's a bad fight to beat early game when you're low level, because spells have a certain amount of power that they have that it's just like flat damage, and big spells tend to be big spells. We don't randomize spell damage, do we?
It's a flag that you can do.
Yeah, we do, but it is still, based on the vanilla value,
Yeah.
so it's not going to be super different from that.
Yeah, so Mad Adder having all these endgame spells just blew him up.
Yeah, Attack Scarf seems quite good in this seed.
So Esenbai went to check Star Hill. Star Hill is an interesting check because there's really nothing to do there except hit the flowers and see if there's a star piece in the 3rd room. So if you go there and there's nothing, then you're really not getting anything for your time investment, and it can, it can kind of be a mixed bag.
Looks like we found Jinx in the Mushroom Kingdom hanging out here.
Jinx is one of those bosses that I feel like after people play as Rando enough, they're just gonna be so OP at that fight, because every single one of Jinx's attacks are blockable. They just have really strange block windows, but once you get used to it, like, one of the interesting things about the boss shuffle is that there are some bosses that I usually classify as quote-unquote free bosses. Hammer Bro falls under that category because their only 2 attacks are quite easy to perfect block with enough practice. And I think Jinx falls into that category as well, even though he has very, very strong base power on his attacks.
Yeah. Doing Rando, you will eventually learn how to block Jinx, because he's in a lot of places. And
yeah. That's right, because there's 3 Jinx fights, so those 3 Jinx fights are 3 separate encounters, so when you do boss shuffle, you're going to see Jinx showing up in most likely multiple locations.
The one you really don't want to see is Jinx 3, the one that knows bombs away, just because that attack is very difficult to block if you haven't practiced it a ton. However, the time block for that is documented on the SMRPG wiki, which is linked in the reference guide for this game if anybody chooses to grind that. So Locke did that fight in the Mushroom Kingdom. A note about the Mushroom Kingdom fight is that if you're familiar with the original game's speedrun, you can still do the boss skip in this game. You can skip the boss that's there the way that you normally can, unless, of course, you enable the flag that disables it. If you do that and you decide to skip the boss fight, you still get the star piece if it has one.
Esenbai just found the EXP booster in the Max Mushroom chest of C.
Oh wow, okay, so Esenbai has the EXP booster and the coin trick. That is going to give him a huge leg up, because the EXP booster, as you know, doubles the EXP that you get, and the coin trick doubles the coins that you get. 2 extremely, extremely useful things to have in this randomizer.
Very nice. Yeah, to answer questions in chat, with the boss shuffle, there is an extra hard mode option for Culex, and that is turned on for this race. So Culex is included in the boss shuffle. He can show up.
I'm looking forward to that.
I can't wait to see him in the Sunken Ship and King Calamari slot or something. I always seem to get the worst boss fights there.
Oh man. And due to the nature of the way this rando works, some fights are easier or, in some cases, much harder depending on the spot. Like, King Calamari is a known wall of this rando, because he's just one massive lump of HP if it's like a single boss. But normally it's split up among all the tentacles. So it can be pretty dangerous.
It really sucks to get something like a Jinx fight at King Calamari, because I think that's something like 2400 HP, and you're just attacking him and getting countered like every turn, and it's just such a slog, and it's so annoying, and you just really want to be doing heavy damage on that guy to avoid getting countered.
Yeah.
It's been really interesting to see, you know, how those spots have sort of shaken out, which ones are the roadblocks, because, you know, when we implemented the boss shuffle, we didn't really know that. We just kind of ran with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so to answer just a couple other questions, so Culex being involved in the boss shuffle, like not in his vanilla spot, but mixed up in the world, is one option, and another option with the Star Piece shuffle is whether or not to include Culex's location. So those are both separate options. So for this particular race, Culex's spot does not have a Star Piece, that option is turned off. However, Culex himself is included in the boss shuffle. So even though his spot doesn't have a Star Piece, Culex himself may have a Star Piece if he's somewhere else in the world.
Yeah, so you're not gonna have to go to Monster Town and fight, like, one of the factory bosses with unblockable bombs that has 1 billion attack power and 4000 HP. You don't have to do that in this flag set. That's one that I usually turn on, but, you know, I have strange opinions about this randomizer.
Yeah, turn all the Culex flags on, that's my motto.
Yeah,
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah, so obviously Culex won't be nearly as bad if he's in, you know, a lower spot with less stats, but he'll still be not a good thing to run into. I guess on the flip side, if you have a different boss at Culex's location, they can be quite powerful, so.
Like, Jinx 3 at Kulak's spot is a nightmare. Just, it's a brutal slog of a fest, of a fight, because there's so much HP on such a tanky boss who makes himself even tankier and do more damage, and he also makes himself do more damage, so it's it can be real brutal to have that spot randomized.
Yeah, Culex at Axum Rangers would be a good one.
Wait, did I see someone in chat say that we got the green Geno palette? I hope so, because you guys are gonna like his name if that's true.
Oh, did we get him? I saw we got Waluigi. I like that one.
So, in vanilla game, ooh, but it didn't survive. Locky was going for the, you let the bomb detonate, and if you survive in vanilla, Magic Koopa, the way they have it set up, it's just bugged to where he will never again do another action, so you can just beat a bomb for free. But, sadly, Locky was not doesn't have enough stats to survive the explosion.
That's, I don't see that happen very often. Usually, like, it's quite, not that much of an issue to block Big Bang. That's neat.
That's about 100 magic damage base game. So maybe it randomized pretty high. We have settings to fix all of the free bosses, so if you don't like that he's a free boss, you can just make him not a free boss, and sometimes that can be pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of turning on the Fix XOR Geno World flag.
Yeah. By the way, it was meant to be bought.
I'm not, because I'm a filthy speedrunner.
I believe it's just a Magic Koopa. It does look like Kamek, but it's just called Magic Koopa.
I think the original lore is that he was intended to be Kamek, but it was lost in translation. The Japanese psychopath message refers to Bowser as his child.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
I see.
Gotta respect the lore.
I always call him Kamek when I play this game.
I think it's cool that if he's Kamek, not just a random Magic Koopa.
It's probably just a random Magic Koopa, because they would never mess with translation, just like how Mouth is Neosquid. Neosquid is just what Mouth is called. Of Exo.
Absolutely.
Nothing wrong with that translation.
Also, I looked at Locke's screen again a few minutes ago. It's definitely the green Geno, and I'm very, very happy about that.
Excellent.
You'll see why anytime you see Geno in a menu.
So I believe we don't have any of the bug fix flags turned on, as far as I'm aware. So I think all of those exploits from the original game, like Geno whirling XOR and exploiting Magic Koopa, are still.
Also, if you've noticed that characters transform into other characters when they're finished attacking, don't mind that. That's a work in progress.
Yeah, that's some of those animation issues there. When characters use other characters' weapons and sometimes spells as well, they sometimes turn into that character, and it can have some very interesting graphical effects. But it doesn't actually break the gameplay.
Yeah.
We're hopefully going to get those fixed and polished up as we go along.
So I just saw Gozen go for a max skip, and it failed in a way I don't think I've ever seen it fail before. I'm gonna have to rewatch that VOD and make a new tutorial video.
Yeah. Yaki Bomb, he's without a doubt one of the experts at the animation script, which is very complicated. And originally we had so like you couldn't use finger shot or any Geno weapons on anyone but Geno. And then he came in and he was like, yeah, I can fix that. And I said, and I was on board with that. He jumped in a day, in only a day, what it took me a month, if not more. He fixed all of that, and he would have fixed the way characters transform into other characters. I thought people liked that, so I told him to keep it that way. So that's why it's still like that. My bad.
Yeah, it would be nice if they would go back to their original sprites, but during the attack, I think that's cool if they switch characters.
Yeah.
Also, yes, the green Geno is named Zelda, for anyone who hasn't seen it.
I don't understand why that's funny. Isn't that the name of the hero in Legend of Zelda?
Absolutely. I mean, it's called The Legend of Zelda. It's right there in the title.
Yeah, I don't see what the problem is. I think, I think it's a very logical name to give a green Geno, if you ask me. Oh, it's Belda. I see. Well, I was wrong.
Is that the title? I thought it was The Legend of Link, A Zelda to the Past.
That's my favorite Sega Genesis game.
Okay.
It looks like, Lockie's got our first star of the sea.
Yeah, he picked that up from picking up Zelda as well. So going into Forest Maze, very, very good play.
Yeah. So you start with 3 characters in this open world mode, and then the 2 that you will get from fights are when you do the Bowyer spot fight in the Forest Maze, where you would normally get Geno, and then when you do the Bunt spot in Merrymore, which is where you would normally get Peach. And the reason for that is like, because it's an open world mode and we're not, doing the story progression and cutscenes, you would normally get Mallow and Bowser at just specific story moments, not in boss fight. So we figured we'll just skip those because those characters are free anyway, and you'll just start with 3.
It also helps with some of the bugs that occur in fights if you don't have enough characters. If you do bounty currently and you don't have 3 characters, being able to soft block. The same for the snake boss. Poker that's what it is.
Okay, I think we're back.
We're back? We are back.
We're back.
Wonderful.
Never left.
So Terravan, I think, opted to fight Mad Adder, which is again generally the tougher fight early game and the easier fight late game. Let's see how it works out for him.
I find that I'm usually going for Earthlink because in early game, I can typically block most of his attacks, and late game, even though Earthlink is weak to special and not physical attack, you have such good weapons by then that it doesn't matter. Whereas Mad Adder is extremely weak to physical, but you can't block anything.
Yeah. There is a very slight chance, though, with Mad Adder that he does nothing. He's got a 1 in 6 that he just does. So, if you want to get lucky, he's technically the fastest boss.
If you're curious about what Locke was just doing there, talking to that thwomp, you have to talk to him 7 times, and he knocks the key item off of the top of Monster Town, which in the original game is the temple key. Here it can be any of the 18 key items.
Yeah, you really have to feel that vibe. Very important.
Yeah. So for this seed, the key items are all shuffled within each other, but there is a sort of hard mode, I guess, option, a key sanity option, if you will, where the key items can be mixed in with the chest contents as well. So if you want to have a really long experience and go hunting all over the place for trying to find that, Bambino bomb to open the back of Moleville to get your last star, and the Bambino bomb is hidden in the corner of the world somewhere, then go nuts.
Yeah.
It's hidden behind one of the Bowser doors, and D1 is turned on. That's my dream seed to roll for somebody someday, because I'm apparently the rude developer of it.
Yeah, that's absolutely possible, because you can have Bowser's Keep open from the start, and then required items can be.
Mm-hmm.
So, Gozen fighting Director at what I think is a Belome slot. This is kind of an interesting fight, because there are 3 kind of similar fights with the boss that look like a Shovel Knight. If you eliminate all the hammers before you eliminate the main boss, they will increase their attack and their defense power. The second 2, the blue one and the red one, they resummon all the hammers if you kill them all. And they progressively get harder to fight the hammers, because the first hammers will bonk you on the head, you can block that. Second hammers, they'll bonk you or toss a hammer at you, you can block both of those. But these ones, they have a 1 in 3 chance of tossing a hammer onto your head that casts Fear originally. With these flags, it will cast a random status effect, and they're getting Mushroom, which in my opinion is the worst status effect to get from anything. But that's okay for Gozen because he's not afraid, he just took him out, no problem.
Yeah. And also, the director of that red boss, when you kill all the little minions, he then casts a defensive and offensive buff to make him even harder to kill. And I believe that was Pandorite. Yeah.
Oh, you're right, it was Panorite. I thought it was Belome, but I got it mixed up with the Axum Rangers.
Yeah.
I think actually the clerk and the manager increase their defense as well. I know that the clerk does because I had that problem in a randomizer the other day, and it was quite annoying. But another kind of funny thing to note, in the original game, if you don't randomize boss stats, they are all susceptible to sleep, and the hammers are all susceptible to the sheep attack, the item that summons a bunch of sheep onto the game and drags them all out of the battle.
And if you do that, you get an interesting bug where you, it's hard to describe, but pretty much a message will come up when he tries to summon that says "Go World," which is a standard debug message.
I love that. Go World should be like the... Hey guys, we don't have an official name for this rando, do we? We should call it Go World.
I like that. Super Mario RPG Go World.
Go World Randomizer. Yeah, that's our thing now.
Okay. It's official. Everyone was here for it. We are now the Go World Randomizer.
I think officially on the website it's currently just called the SMRPG Open World Randomizer, but that's not very original. Yeah, so I believe for these flags, the chess shuffle is chaotic and not biased, right?
I am unsure.
I believe they're chess and shops are both chaotic. So the Zoom shoes and the quartz charm were in the lazy shell chest behind the with the guard.
Ooh. It's, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's actually not bad. If this was that's actually what made me think that it might be biased instead of chaotic, because there is an option with the chess shuffle and the shop shuffle as well to do biasing, whereby the chests and shops that are not immediately available or are harder to reach are more likely to contain better items. And the logic for all of that was the brainchild of Pidge. She came up with all of this crazy logic for everything and a lot of spreadsheets to work everything out, and I'm very thankful that she did that, because I really didn't want to.
So if you roll any seeds where you can't find anything good, you can feel free to blame me, and I will feel free to laugh.
As should be, let's be honest.
But yeah, I essentially, before I became a developer for this rando, I just dumped a bunch of spreadsheets onto the dev team, and I was like, here's how you guys should do shops and chests, and then there was a lot of work. For at the time, it was just Alan and Fleck working on the development, so I'm like, you know what? You guys are busy. I don't know Python, but I'm gonna learn Python so I can help you guys with this shop and chest stuff, and now we have shop and chest shuffle redone.
Yeah. Pidge is really just an all-around developer. She's in the art, she's in the Python script, she's in the ROM, she does it all.
I just came in and took over.
It should just be in every section of the credits by this point, basically.
Yeah, I made the original game too. I made this game, smiley face.
Yeah, we do actually have we have some custom credits at the end just to list the randomizer credits and whatnot, so you can see everyone. But yeah, Pidge is in a couple of spots, I think, but yeah, by this point, she's going to be in all of them by the end.
I really like Python too, but I think in this seed we don't like snakes very much after how much trouble our runners had on the Cloaker Domino fight.
Yeah, the snake fight is never fun. Snakes aren't so good in this game.
Maybe we'll just give you a segment, like, out the front. Just the developer... What's a good title for you?
Person that made empty shop flag. Just put me as that. That's my claim to fame in this rando. You guys did all the hard work. I just learned from what you guys did.
You did good though.
Yeah, you're doing great.
I'm really impressed.
We got a good team.
I'm really impressed with how you did the Bowser door shuffle, because there were unforeseen issues with that.
Oh my gosh. The Bowser door shuffle flag was wild. I can't wait until we see that in this rando. Oh my gosh, vanilla room key unlocked seed. Cue the is this even randomized?
Flag? Wait
a second.
Is this even randomized? Yeah, so because the locks actually check, quite a few key item spots, and because the key items are not shuffled in the chests, there's only a limited number of spots they can be in. So seeing an item in its vanilla location is more common in this than it is in, say, Link.
The typical runtime for SMRPG Go World is about, I'd say, 3 to 5 hours. About 5 if you haven't run it before. And when you get good, generally they're about 3.5 hours. Although sometimes there's rough seats that can be 4 or 5 hour seats. Also, you'll... Go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry.
Locke just had one of the chests that is, it's programmed a bit weirdly. So, some chests have, they're not real chests, it's a NPC with an NPC under it, and when you hit the NPC, the first one disappears, and it makes the chest NPC, the top NPC become the chest NPC. So, this one little spot down the corner of the goodie bag room, has a weird thing where the left side of it makes that bottom thing that makes everything else appear show up, and then to the right makes it disappear. So, because of the way it is, it's sometimes you have to hit it multiple times. It can be a little annoying or weird, and it can cause weird bugs.
We like that chest.
Yeah, it's one chest.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, for you know, for the amount of time that it takes to do it, I would expect, like Sinus mentioned, that these runners will probably sub 3. It does depend on what flags you're using a lot. In this case, you know, the key items aren't mixed in with the chest, so they know the locations that they need to check. They don't need to go absolutely running all over for everything. And we do have some options to speed things up. There's some XP options to increase the amount of XP you get, so you can level faster. There's a free shops option if you want to, you know, really blitz it.
I hope that you guys noticed on Locke's screen in Booster's Tower that the Mario doll colors are also changed to match the Waluigi palette.
They are?
Oh yeah, Pidge did some extra work for the palette shuffle to make some other spots also match the Mario.
Ooh.
I had to do it. I had to have the Waluigi doll.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
I'm actually not sure what the world record is. I know that Esenbai has had sub 2 seeds. He's had some really fast ones.
A couple weeks ago, Caleb Hart got like a 147 on a random scene where he wiped in factory and lost 7 minutes. He had go mode like an hour in. It was like his 4th time doing the randomizer. It was the most random thing I've ever seen.
Oh, that's great.
Crap, I forgot what I was gonna say.
It's been really really interesting to see, you know, people compete for lower times and discuss routing options and what they think, you know, the most efficient way to route things is, because you know, at least for me, like when it comes to things like the chest shuffle and the shop shuffle, you know, the game design type things where you actually have to make up algorithms to try to make a play experience, that's not really my forte. So like when it comes to routing these things, I have no idea what's going to be optimal. So when we implement some of these things, it's like, I wonder what people are going to do with this.
Yep,
That was definitely my hope when we made the flag that randomizes the status that the fake mushroom gives you. That was an Alanim special that I just made one day.
I haven't personally seen anyone use it, but I'm hoping for the day where it's the red essence and someone just finds it.
Yeah, you just get it as like a drop on your first fight and it gives you red essence. You're like, well then, I will take these $3 invincibility items and use them in every fight ever.
Oh yeah. Well,
Or when... Go ahead.
oh, sorry. I was just gonna say. Looks like Lox climbed up Booster Tower and tried to throw a firebomb at Valentina, but turns out she's immune to fire.
And Esenbai takes the lead. He finds his second star piece in Marymore. So the 2 star pieces we found so far have also been where the characters were. And he unlocks Bowser and has a complete party put together. I wonder what spells he comes.
Ooh, look at that Bowser pal.
The Dry Bone. That was, Deviling made that one. She's done a ton of work with the graphics section of...
Very, very nice. That one, it kind of reminds me of like a Giga Bowser from Smash Brothers or something, where he just looks like a mutant monster.
Yeah, we put a call out for anyone who wants to make palettes, and a lot of people showed up and made a bunch of cool palettes for us. That was really cool for the community.
A while back, actually, I saw somebody mention that Ghost Metal was in the Zoom Shoe spot. That actually is caused by the M2 flag. That's the Monster Town Shuffle, which takes like the 10 items that you get from the Monster Town side quests and also from turning in key items for equips, and it just shuffles their locations. And if you don't have those turned on, you'll just get random stuff there, but we just kind of have that in there because it makes the key items a little more useful with the chance that it might get you an attack scarf or a super suit. You probably might want to try turning it in, and it's just like a little thing we added for fun on top of the chest shuffle.
Yeah, it also can make the super suit more accessible to people since it can get shuffled away from the 100 super jumps.
One thing that I never told anybody when I made that flag is that there's a 30% chance that 100 super jumps has the best of the 10 items, but the other 9 items also might be really good when the equip stats are randomized. It determines which one is the best by applying a formula to all the different stats that it inherits from the randomizer.
Yep, that was part of the shop logic revamp that Pidge basically designed there. Was calculating basically a rank for each item based on the stats and special properties that it has. So that's how we know like what to price the items, and if the shop biasing is turned on, then that affects if they're more likely to show up in later shops that aren't immediately accessible. So there's a whole bunch of logic that goes into that, and Pidge designed all of that. So great stuff.
Thank you.
I was really glad I work on the ROM because I didn't have to deal with that. So I took that over because I was looking at the spreadsheet. It was real dizzy guy.
I mean, from everything that you've told me about chess shuffling, I'm glad I didn't have to work on the actual ROM hack work for that either.
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel the same way about the ROM hacking stuff. That's dizzy guy for me. So we've got a good group of people, kind of a community effort going on here now, where we've got people that are good at particular things in the randomizer development. So it's been really cool to see this kind of.
Yeah.
I love that we just had 3 people in Rosetown at the same time checking the fertilizer. The 2 chests that you get from the seed and the fertilizer are also included in the M2 flag, which could mean that you could get the super suit and the attack scarf there, or you could get the froggy stick and the zoom shoes. You don't know. It's there's 10 specific items that could possibly be shuffled in those slots, and it's kind of fun to see what you get.
So people might be curious why the gardener cutscene's still there. Well, about 6 months ago, I spent like a couple hours getting that cutscene all cut out, beautiful, and I just never committed it. So it's still in the game, and some people like it, some people don't like it. So
that's actually my favorite cutscene in the game. So I think we should keep.
I'm definitely gonna narrate it again at RPG Limit Break.
Maybe I should make a flag for it, I guess. I might need your help with that pitch, so we can put it. We can just put it right into the randomizer.
I'm not doing any more dev work for another month, but we'll see.
Oh yeah, in a month. I can wait. Don't worry.
Gotcha.
People can enjoy that beautiful cutscene for a little bit longer.
Heck yeah, they can. And if they don't, well, then they're gonna have to learn to.
Looks like Locke's about to get the 2nd star as well, because he's in Marrymore.
And his 5th character. You start off with the 3 characters. The 2 that you get are the ones that would come from the slots in the Mushroom Kingdom and outside Booster Tower that you get for free. And then you have to fight the Forest Maze slot and the Marrymore boss slot to get your last 2. So SMBI has found all 5, and Locke is about to find his 5th and his 2nd star piece. These 2 play this randomizer a lot, and it's pretty cool to see the progress that they're making.
Yeah, all 4 of these runners are very experienced. They've been playing the randomizer for a while now, and pretty regularly, and have gotten very good. And it is Waluigi time.
There's the Waluigi doll.
Oh, he's getting caught. SMBI is going for the getting caught strategy of just fighting Booster.
Oh, he's fighting the Booster.
Yeah, it actually makes sense because with this flag, the chaotic shuffle, chances that Booster is gonna have an extremely good item is not that high. I think that rewards given to you by side quests, like something that an NPC hands you, is weighted heavily to be a tier 3 item, where it's on a scale of 1 to 4, 1 being the worst, 4 being the best. Mm-hmm. And there are lots and lots of chests where you can already get that, so he just is going for the speed.
It's understandable.
Yeah, and Booster is a potential star location, so that explains why he wants to... Or in this case, it's Croco.
Yeah, Croco 1 can be kind of a double-edged sword. He has very low base power attacks, but you cannot block his bombs. So if you find him in a slot like this one, where he has a pretty heavy base attack stat, it can be kind of annoying to deal with, but 66% of the time he's going to use a blockable dash attack on you.
Yep. And so to answer a question in chat, yeah, Bowser with Geno Boost. The character shuffling flags are all turned on for this race, and one of those flags is to shuffle the spells that each character learns. So characters learn each other's spells, they can equip each other's weapons, it's a whole...
Bowser with Geno Boost can be kind of a game changer because that is a very important spell. As you know, Geno Boost gives you a 1.5 times multiplier to all of your attack powers and all of your defense powers, so your magic, item, and weapon attack. So a lot of the times, if you're having trouble affording the items that do that for you, which are Crystalline Bracer, Power Blast, and Energizer, you may want to take your booster character along with you, but if they have really bad stats, it can be hard to make them work in a battle if they're going to die before they can boost anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't actually mention... I want to mention because that was something that I actually did, but a few original contributions. When someone goes to save the game, you've probably seen by now that the character on the file select screen is randomized. So that was part of the original randomizer there, but then we also added names, like enemy names or character names on the file select slots, and that basically serves as like a hash value like you have with like the items at the top that for Link to the Past and things like that. So that's just useful if you're racing, you can confirm everyone's on the same seed. And then the name entry screen has the current version that you're playing.
So, looking at Locke's screen, he's been trucking away at this Mega Smilax boss and just finished him. The Petal Blast spell put everyone to sleep. And normally you'd think that Petal Blast might not be that bad on this slot if it's putting you to sleep, because like even if you have no sleep protection, all 3 of the Mega Smilax heads have a physical attack on you, and physical attacks wake you up from sleep. But he wasn't getting any such luck and just barely survived there with his middle character at 4 HP with everyone else dead, and tossed a mushroom on himself and was able to finish. So good stuff to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And to answer the question about the items in chat, they do not need all of the items. What they need to find are all of the star pieces. The star pieces are what open the path to the factory and smithy to actually beat the game. They might need some of the key items in order to access those star pieces depending on where they end up. So, for example, if a star piece is in the Moleville Mines on the Punchinello spot, you need the Bambino Bomb that's normally dropped by Croco 2 in order to get to the back part of the mines. So, since the key items are shuffled, that Bambino Bomb could be in any of the key item spots.
Yeah. It could be gated behind Song 3, which would require you to kill Balloon 2.
I don't think it can be there because you need the Bambino Bomb to do Song 2.
Right. It could be gated behind...
If that's possible, I haven't done my job.
Yeah. Could be behind Valentina, though. Right?
It could be behind Valentina, yes. So we do have logic in place that I've added for the key item shuffle to make sure that all of the key items are accessible, very similar to all the sanity checks that they have in the, Link to the Past random.
Yeah.
So in theory, as long as I've done my job properly, every seed should be fully completable. But you do not need to collect all of the items in order to get there. You just need those.
Yeah.
I wonder if we're ever going to see anybody attempt to RNG Manip on the balcony for the rock candy.
Does it work very well because we don't have the cutscenes anymore? No,
probably not. It would still work, but it would be really hard to do.
Yeah.
I'm still extremely happy about Zelda Geno being a thing in the seed, because we did not vet the seed. Fleck just rolled one randomly, and the option to choose what color palette to use isn't a thing.
Mm-hmm. Esenbai was busy munching there, giving the mushroom boy some mushrooms on the hope of the rock candy.
That's interesting. I never see anybody do that in a randomizer. That's pretty cool that he went for that.
Yeah.
Oh, and now he finds Box Boy. Box Boy is interesting. All the mimics except for Chester, the one who's found in the Bowser's Key Battle Door, are shuffled in with the bosses. And Box Boy counters magic attacks. where as another one, Haydn counters physical attacks, but Boxboy counters magic and summons a friend, Fatso. Fatso can be Geno World unless you turn on the flag that disables that, and he only summons him once, but he has like incredibly difficult magic to deal with.
Yeah. Very endgame spells that do a lot of damage, no matter where he is. Pretty much, Boulder is one of the main spells that Zombone uses. Yeah, right there. And early game it will do a lot of damage, no matter what.
Yeah. Eufendus. So, it's sort of very arbitrary, I suppose, but we decided that we were pretty happy with the current set of features in, what's been the beta mode for the last several months. And so we decided to, make that the official new live version, since now it's pretty stable. We fixed, most of the bugs. And we're pretty happy with that as an initial feature set. So we decided that it doesn't necessarily need to be a beta anymore, just in time for the showcase. But that does not mean that we're not going to continue to add new features to it. We are. We're just going to, use that as the new live version going forward. We just didn't want to necessarily force people into this new version while, it wasn't quite as stable as you'd like a live release.
Yeah.
If only you guys could see our to-do list. We have a lot of fun features still planned for this.
It is. It is a very big list.
Yeah, the main ones that we were looking for is the key item shuffle, the star piece shuffle, the boss shuffle, and the chest shuffle. To have all those items around. So those sort of core feature set there, in addition to what we had from the old version with all of the stat shuffling with items and characters, that gave us a really good, I think, initial suite of features for this open world mode.
Agreed. It's right now there's NPC rewards are not perfect, but we'll get there. Good enough, pretty much. They're good enough. It's just one little exception that is keeping it from being perfect.
Oh yeah. I can tell you one of the things that we want to add that I know I think Pidge is interested in looking into is doing a no free characters mode where you would actually start with one character like normal, but then you would have to get the other characters by fighting specific boss spots. So the two that exist currently, which are like the vanilla spots in Bowyer and Bunt, but then I can't remember where we wanted the other spots to be. We basically wanted to spread them out a little bit, but it's going to be different from the vanilla game. But it does mean that you'll have open world only starting with one character. That is going to be a very fun feature to work on, though, because the variable number of characters in the party plays havoc with some of the boss behavior scripts.
Yeah, like, below 1 mostly is the real problem. Below 1 and, we can make Valentino work, I think. But below 1 is, the way he eats people doesn't play well with, varying amounts of monsters. But I think we have a workaround. We might be able to get it to work. We'll see.
Yep. I know we also wanted to add a warp to Smithy that's similar to the warp that exists in like Free Enterprise, just so you're able to get to the final boss a little quicker.
I may actually be showcasing the development for that live fairly soon, maybe a month from now.
Exciting.
There's also Star Hunt, which has been on the back burner for a while, but will be coming. That's probably gonna be the next thing I work on, honestly. Where you still have to kill the bosses for the stars, but once you get 7 stars instead of killing Smithy, it just ends the game. The 7 stars is all you need, and the entire map would be open. And
that'll include the factory. The factory will be open initially, which is pretty cool. So that's sort of an analogous to the Triforce hunt in Link to the Past.
Mm-hmm. And you'll be able to skip more bosses. Like you'll be able to walk past the bosses in the factory instead of having to fight them. You'll be able to just fight any boss you want, pretty much. Barring exceptions.
Terravan and Gozen just beat Valentina Dodo at the exact same time. That is kind of a difficult slot for that boss to appear because Knife Guy and Great Guy, they do have some pretty strong magic in the original game, and Valentina, as you may or may not know, has an array of 9 different spells she can use on you.
Mm-hmm. We actually are considering pretty heavily, not considering, but we plan to randomize chip password. We're just, it's a lot more work than you'd think, but also not as much as you'd think in some ways. So
yeah, one of the options should definitely be Merles. Yeah, the mini, those kind of like sort of mini game shuffles, I think are pretty cool. We've started to do a few of those. So we figured out recently how to do the ball solitaire and the magic button mini games in Bowser's Keep. So you can actually turn on randomized patterns for those. And the ball solitaire, it makes kind of a bit less of a difference, but the magic buttons, it can actually make it quite a bit different because the magic buttons are so simple in the vanilla game.
Turning on those as well as turning on the entrance randomizer in the Bowser doors is like a fever dream.
Yeah. Are those
it's fantastic.
Are the puzzles randomized?
Is what, sorry?
Are the puzzles in the castle, are they randomized?
Those two are. In this flag set?
Oh, no, those are not. Oh, wait, no, they are, I think.
Oh, baby.
Oh, baby.
Yes, they are.
Well, they only have to do 2 Bowser doors, so they won't be required, but it'd be kind of neat if we see that happen.
Yeah, they do have those turned on. So, so we have a quick preset. It sort of minimizes what you go for. You have Open Bowser Keep, you have only 6 stars, and you have free shops, so that's sort of a quick seed mode. It's not actually like changing the goal of the game, however, though. We do have some ideas for, alternate goals, such as that Star Hunt mode that's kind of like Triforce Hunt. So there will be hopefully stuff like that in the future.
I can tell you one of the ball solitaire problems. I spent 10 minutes trying to validate it, couldn't get anywhere on it, so I had to break the Cheez-Its out and start jumping the Cheez-Its and figuring out really how to solve it. It took me like 20 minutes to solve a single puzzle. It was a very difficult combination, so hopefully they don't get that one. Or they'll just probably skip it. Skip that door.
Yeah, the magic buttons, at least, you can just keep trying until you get it. You can kind of brute force it, but the ball solitaire, if you mess up, then you get kicked back. So those were actually pretty fun. I enjoyed randomizing those because it was a little, kind of coding puzzle to solve. It turns out, figuring out a solution given a particular puzzle is one of those like very difficult problems for a computer to solve. But starting with the victory condition and working backwards to generate a randomly solvable puzzle is actually not that difficult, so...
Yeah.
Gozen is about to get his final character and second star piece. So is Terra, actually. Then, So SMBI just got through the first part of Sunken Ship, which is awesome because Knife Guy and Great Guy are actually kind of scary to deal with at the King Calamari slot. Since King Calamari has 2400 health, and Knife Guy and Great Guy decide to team up and use their more powerful spells on you, like Meteor Blast and such, is based on how many turns have gone by. And the more HP you have to deplete, the more turns they're going to get. And you have to hit them quite a few times in order for them to break up, and that's a little harder to do if they're killing you with Meteor Blast. Although they're not doing very much right now, because I don't think King Calamari's magic stat is that powerful.
It's alright. It's alright.
Oh, well, actually, you know what? They do have Attack Scarf, so that's probably why it's not doing that much.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, they got the Attack Scarf pretty early, I think. It was in, I think, the Rosetown shop?
Oh, okay, that makes sense. And also, what Sinus is saying is right. You want to kill Great Guy first, because Knife Guy has more blockable moves.
Yep, and knowing those kind of strategies, how to make certain boss fights, a little easier, is very useful when you don't know what boss you're going to be fighting. You really want those kind of, that kind of generalized knowledge. And if you don't know those things, don't worry, because we have a really nice, thorough reference guide up on the website in the help section that will take you through all of that sort of thing, the boss behaviors and all the things that you need to know for the vanilla game and the randomizer.
You know, I just saw SMBI go through the mirror room, and 2 Waluigis might have been too much. It was... Truly, I was mind blown. I didn't know you could put that much awesomeness in one room. He's my boy, Waluigi is. Always loved it.
So
I'm glad to see him here. Yeah, go ahead.
He's fighting a manager at what I think is the hide-and slot, which is like this. The 600 HP is divided up between the 4 enemies in this fight, which is pretty nice. But those bombs can hit kind of hard. It was a good thing that I hit Bowser with his great defense stat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, just to answer the question about what we're doing in this seed. So the main features that we have going on here is we have the key items being shuffled, and the star pieces are shuffled, and all 7 star pieces are in the mix. So what that means is, so Sinus just pasted the flag string in chat there. So it's a free enterprise style flag string that you can put into the site if you want. The boss shuffle is also in play. We've got the palette shuffle. The characters and enemies, I believe, are fully shuffled. So all the stats and everything and who can equip what, everything is randomized. The spells that they learn are randomized. And we've got a chaotic chest and shop shuffles going on. So the items that are in the shops and the treasure chests around the map are going to be all over the map in terms of...
So, currently the 2 management bosses have been in the chest, so maybe we can get the whole trifecta in the Foxboy chest.
Oh, they were very interesting. Were they in Hydon and Pandora?
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, definitely. Give it a try if you haven't yet. We're always happy to see new people giving this randomizer a try. We've had, I guess, sort of an influx of people recently as people have started streaming this more, and it's become a little bit more publicized in more recent months.
Mm-hmm.
But that's great. So, C-Note, fun fact about the Game Boy Beetle minigame thing. That's actually removed from the randomizer. Not because we don't like that game, we do. But that allowed us to just make sure that the key item shuffle is able to work properly without potentially breaking the game.
Actually, the Beetle game is still in game. You can just pay 500 points. It's the Beetle climb up the hill with the Beetle box. That's removed. Yeah.
One of those the Beetle-related things we had to remove to make sure that there aren't too many.
Mm-hmm. And it's really not a good minigame for, like, even for casual play, because you don't really get much for it. It's...
Yeah, Pidge just pasted in chat there. That's the permalink to the seed that was generated for the race tonight, if you want to try it yourself.
It's not the same seed, it's just a random seed with the same flags. I can read the descriptions.
Oh, okay, sure. My bad. Okay, so that's not the exact seed that they're playing, but it's the same flags. So the website has a similar feature to, the Link to the Past randomizer, where the seed is generated and stored on the server side, so you get a permalink that you can, give your friends if you're doing a race so they can all get the same. Oh, looks like we've got Gunyo coming in here in the ship.
That can be a scary fight. Luckily, the Johnny slot only has about 820 health split between these two enemies. Yeah, and there goes Gunyo. SMBI knows what he's doing versus that boss.
Nicely done. So that's going to open up the Oh no, actually, sorry, we changed that. You don't need to do the Johnny fight to face Eurytovich now, do you?
Yeah, Eurytovich fight slot is available from the start of the Oh, and SMBI finds another star piece. Let's go.
Oh, there's star piece number 3. It's on Johnny. So yeah, the star pieces so far have been interesting because, you know, one of them was like deep in the forest maze. This one was at the end of the sunken ship where you have to go through, you know, 2 boss fights to get to it. So the stars have been kind of buried so far this seed. Nothing like really accessible so far.
Yeah, especially deep in the sunken ship is always a rough one because you have to get through King Calamari first, and as we were saying earlier, that can be kind of a roadblock slot.
There's star piece number 4.
Oh, that's right. He's in the dojo.
Yep, star piece number 4 in the Jinx dojo. So in the Jinx dojo, you have Jagger and the 3 Jinx fights. So those are all separate boss fights in terms of the boss shuffle, so you can see any bosses there. And the Jagger fight and the Jinx 3 fight are the potential star piece locations.
Yeah, it's kind of like a boss rush, kind of like if you play FF4 for Enterprise, you go out Mount Ordeals and you get your key item on the 3rd boss. Mm-hmm. Here, there's 4 bosses, and you get a possible star piece for the 1st one and the 4th one, but not the 2nd and 3rd one, because we didn't want like 4 star pieces to possibly end up in the 1 slot.
Yeah.
The slots are always in order. So you fight Jagger, then Jinx 1, 2, and 3. But which bosses those are, you know, they'll be scaled to that spot. So we've got Boomer at Jinx 1 there.
And because Boomer is a physical attacker, at least past fight, that's pretty rough.
Yeah, because the Jinx spots have a pretty high physical attack, if I recall.
Yeah. Some of the highest in the game.
Yeah, so I think we didn't want the Monstro Town boss slots to be super stacked, like to have like 4 potential star spots in a row. And since you get, you know, Jagger is sort of a separate thing, and then Jinx is kind of his own thing, and you fight Jinx 3 times, and you get normally an item after beating Jinx all 3 times. So we figured that was an appropriate, you know, star piece spot.
Mm-hmm. Jagger's like the warm-up freebie, and then comes the boss rush.
Yeah, star piece being on Jinx 3 can be one of the rougher spots.
Yeah, especially if you get very physical, heavy base bosses in that spot, because Jinx doesn't really have any good magic attack, but if you get something like Director there, oh man, you're in for a rough time with that Spritz Bomb.
So, Tervan is going to Box Boy right now, where you have to wait for the Shy Away to come and water the plants. Originally, there was no safety, and it could take like 5 minutes before he would go water the plant. For some reason, people weren't very happy about waiting 5 minutes for him to water the plant, so I had to go through and make it so he always waters that one first. Sadly. I was a big fan of it. It was good stream value.
Yeah, that's a very good change. We have not seen Culex yet. Culex is still MIA, so we might run into him at some... I'm starting to think that there's probably a star piece in Nimbus Land, possibly at like Dodo or Valentina. We do have both castle keys now.
That's true, that is a potential check they could make, and also Bowser's Keep is not a pain in the butt to complete anymore, so we could see somebody going there soon as well. I know SMBI likes to go there.
Oh yeah, Bowser's Keep actually is open for this flag set, so there could be a star piece in the Bowser's Keep boss fights. Also, Nimono, the final boss is still Smithy. That's not changed, so Culex won't be there, but Culex could be anywhere.
In the far-off feature, we plan to maybe throw him out, be able to have any boss as Smithy, but that can be difficult. So it's still in the idea phase, pretty much.
Yeah, that's it would be really cool if we could do this at some point.
Yeah.
There is
Culex absolutely... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, there is a very small chance that Culex is still in his lair where they don't have to fight him, but I want to say that maybe he's in the factory this seed. I wonder if I'm going to be calling that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It is technically possible Culex could be in his vanilla spot. But yeah, there's a lot of bosses in between Bowser's Keep and the factory, so we haven't seen those yet. And Culex very much could be right before Smithy. Absolutely could be in the gun yoke spot.
He could also be in like the countdown spot, which is potentially pretty bad.
I want to see Countdown at Axum Ranger.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That'll be wrong.
And I thought I was the evil developer around here.
Yeah, with the star piece. Oh, that's right. We saw Countdown, didn't we? Oh, okay. Countdown was Jagger. My bad. You're right. So we got a star piece off Countdown at least. So it looks like SMBI's doing level ups in Land's End now. Yeah. So if you go to the website, there is a link to the GitHub on the website, or at least a link to report an issue, but that takes you to the GitHub. So. The code is all open source. It is on GitHub, so you can see, how things work and all of our horrible spaghetti code. I hope it's not that bad.
It's mostly my horrible spaghetti code. You guys did okay.
I don't know. Some of my code in the ROM is pretty spaghetti.
It's beautiful spaghetti, Ellen.
Oh, it's pastaroni.
It's the best mom spaghetti. Oh, I believe Pidge is the Lufia 2 fan.
I love Lufia too.
Yeah, some of the alternate palettes have custom names for them, so there's some good little, inside references.
Oh, we found him! There he is! There he is!
There's Q.
Okay,
Culex at Belong 2.
They might be able to kill him fast enough before he can do anything, but this could be pretty bad.
I think SMBI's got this.
I believe in Culex. He can do this.
Sometimes you might not see the crystals immediately because the boss always inherits the speed of whatever was there before, and Belome has a very low speed stat, so you get a turn off before Culex is able to summon the crystal.
Oh, we got group sleep.
That's not good.
Ooh, that could be a problem. Yeah, there's only, if Culex does like his 1 in 3 chance of using a physical attack, it might wake somebody up and also kill them.
Looks like he's got good magic defense.
Oh no. Oh, but that did no damage.
Oh yeah, that's true. He's got good magic defense, and I mean, Belome only really knows, not Aurora Flash, the other spell that puts you to sleep. Light Beam.
Yeah, Light Beam.
Yeah, Light Beam. And he also knows Aurora Flash, and Aurora Flash can kind of suck, but I don't think it's devastating coming from Belome, so I don't think his magic power stat is very high. You know what? I could literally just look this up.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I can't remember offhand, but I believe Belome is not a magic attack boss. So this is actually like not a bad spot for Culex really, since Culex and the crystals do so much magic damage. Getting a spot with a low magic attack is...
It's almost like I made a spreadsheet of this or something.
Yes. That's sort of one of the quirks of boss shuffles. There are each sort of boss slot has like a type of boss or style of boss that will be good or bad for it, depending on what the stats are for that.
Oh,
and yeah, he's got his magic defense quite high, so I think he's going to be okay. This might just be more annoying than anything with getting put to sleep.
And his regular defense too, apparently. He only took 18 damage from a Culex physical.
Oh, wow, that's very good.
Although, I don't actually think that attack that Culex uses is very strong on its own. I think it just seems powerful because Culex's slot has a very high attack stat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because it's if it's a physical attack, then it's just based on only the physical attack stats. So it would be similar to Balone 2. We talked about that earlier. How magic spells, you have a magic attack stat on the enemy itself, and that gets scaled with the boss shuffle. But the spells themselves also have their own attack power, so they can still have a very high.
Ooh.
Yeah, Locke's about to hit Culex as well. Here we go.
So I just realized that in the original game, Balome actually has the same attack stat as Jagger, which isn't devastating, but is also, like, not that bad.
Huh. He never really attacks because of the way he works, really.
Yeah.
Got him.
He did it! And now we get our lovely Final Fantasy victory music.
Yeah, so even though the boss fight music is shuffled, because that flag is on, Culex still has the Final Fantasy victory music. That's just part of his script.
I actually don't know how that works.
It's a mystery even to the developers.
Because I don't think there's a script that does that. Maybe it's like hard-coded onto him or something.
Oh yeah, it looks like SMBai's actually leveled up more than the other racers, I think.
He was the first to get the second star piece, and he's also, I think, cleared out more boss slots in a faster amount of time.
So...
Oh, he also has the EXP booster.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, so, yes, he did get EXP booster, that's right, yeah, so that'll definitely help him. Yeah, he's level 13 now. So Balone 2 does not have to be beaten to get to Monstro Town. It is open from the start. You go in the back entrance, but the spring to get into the temple, like from the back entrance there, is not present until you actually beat the Balone 2 spot. So you can go to Monstro Town and see, you know, what's there, but you won't get into Balone Temple, like, to get his items there, unless you beat that boss.
It was a good way to balance it, and if you went back through that way and you hadn't got a fortune yet, you would soft lock, because when you go to the fortune room, the door would be closed and there'd be no trampoline, so you'd be dead in the water. So.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, Balone 2 does actually block something. He blocks the third Melody Bay song in Tadpole Pond. So the first song is available right from the start. The second song is available once you beat the Punchinello spot, once you beat the minecart minigame specifically, I believe. Yes. And then the third one opens when you beat Balone 2, because normally in the vanilla game it opens when you get access to Monstro Town.
Yeah.
And in addition to those requirements that are the same as the vanilla game, you also have to play the song before it in order to unlock the next song. So you do have to go in.
SMBai going into Boomer, which funny thing about Boomer is he actually in the vanilla game when he falls off the chandelier, he actually just leaves the game, goes to DKC3, and then some monkeys go and ruin his vacation house. So that's lore for Boomer. It's just a bear under the armor. Just a giant bear. Not many people know that. That's the deep lore. The deep lore.
Oh, looks like we've got Birdo in here in the dojo.
Well, we're not sure. Let's see what's under the egg.
Yeah, that's true. It could be, you know, not Birdo. Oh, never mind. It's Birdo.
All right.
So one of the fun things that hopefully we want to do with the boss shuffle is actually have the Shelly egg enemy that Birdo pops out of still be in the Birdo location, but then have the boss that's been shuffled there pop out of the egg, which would be...
I am looking forward to that one. That's going to be a very fun little thing.
Yeah, that's exactly the problem, Kyle. Yeah, Locke appears to be having some stream issues, so we'll try to get that back up as soon as possible. In the meantime, we've still got 3 other runners going. Mm-hmm. And hey, some of you were saying that it was a little hard to follow, 4 people at once, so this makes it slightly easier, right? Looks like Gozengada's going to do the Dodo Fight now. I'm assuming he's going to go all the way through Nimbus Castle.
Wait.
Oh no, he actually doesn't have key number 2, so he can't go all the way.
That's Dodo, isn't it?
Dodo is Dodo. Is this even rando?
Dodo is.
Oh my
Dodo.
gosh.
Huh.
So interesting fact about the fight that SMBI is doing right now, this is the only one of the Shovel Knight bosses that will not respawn the hammers when you kill them. He'll still increase his defense and attack, but he won't bring the hammers back. The other 2 will. And if you leave one hammer alive and defend, it just runs away from the fight. Just like that.
Yep.
Also, shoutouts to Triple Waluigi.
Oh, is somebody gonna get lucky? Ooh, he's going low-level pro right there. Oh, he got the super suit.
Oh, nice. So that was shuffled into the Jinx belt slot.
Ooh.
It even
Looks
says
like Dodo
in the menu that Zelda equips it.
My boy Zelda. The hero we need.
Oh, we found Calamari at Birdo.
That can actually kind of suck. Well, if you have explosives, it's fine. Or also if you have a mallet doing 248 damage is also fine. Because Birdo has a pretty high defense stat. But because it's 777 health divided among 9 enemies, not really gonna be a big issue.
Yeah, Calamari has a lot of enemies, so having a spot with less HP is gonna make them individually pretty weak. Also, for anyone who just got here in chat, so the trackers that you see are tracking the star pieces that they've found and the key items that they've found. So the key items are the actual keys that open things, the flags, the Dry Bones, Big Boo, and Greeper flags, the rare frog coin, the cricket pie, the cricket jam, all that kind of stuff. This is basically all of the stuff that's like a unique key item in the original vanilla game that's, not a piece of equipment or something. So those are all shuffled around, and that means that they need to find some of those things in order to access certain spots, like finding the Bambino Bomb to get to the back of Mobile Mines, for example. Yep, we actually still have not found the Bambino Bomb yet, so there could be a star at the Punchinello spot.
Which could be gated behind defeating Valentina.
That's true, actually, yeah, because the key and fertilizer are shuffled as well, so the Bambino Bomb could be at the fertilizer spot.
I actually have played seeds where that's happened, and it was quite maddening. Actually, Elenim, the first ever ROM you made that was like the alpha test of the key item shuffle had that. It had Bambino Bomb at fertilizer, and it was the final star piece.
It was a real seed. I really enjoyed that one.
And Box Boy and Kulix had star pieces. I felt like you rolled that explicitly for me.
I gotta be honest. I wish I could say I did, but it was just completely random.
That's just the power of random chance.
Yeah. But when I rolled it, I knew. That was
yeah, ETAP raises a good point that the juice bar in Tablepon is a great spot to buy bombs, because if you remember from the original game, one of the features of the juice bar is that when you get the Alto card, Tenno card, and Soprano card, they decrease the prices of the items in the shop by a bit each time, and you can get some huge discounts on very good items.
And in Open Rando, the cards, because we can't really guarantee that you'll get them in order, we made it so that they upgrade when you get them. So, to kind of simulate that. So you won't just randomly get the soprano card, you'll get an alto, then a tenor, then a soprano, no matter what. Just to really balance the items out, give them more use. Man, the Valentina music with the Waluigi, it really fits.
Oh, thanks, sir. The few people who have taken a look at the code so far and actually like it. We did try to keep things at least sanely structured.
Or at least flected. I can't say much for myself on that front.
I mean, technically, the ROM is open source, but most people don't have ways to try to look at it, so they can't comment on my spaghetti code.
If you don't want to have a heart attack, I strongly recommend you don't look at the class structure for Bowser Doors. I don't even remember what half of those properties do.
You know, it doesn't matter. The important part is that it works. It might be made with some band-aids, some rubber bands, and some bubble gum, but it works.
Yep. Oh yeah, we found Exor.
Do they have Geno World? So they have Geno World. This fight is very rough.
Yeah, I also didn't see what slot that was in.
I don't think any of the G flags are turned on.
They're not, no.
So yeah, they've got Geno World.
Well, they have that glitch available. They might not have learned Geno World.
Oh, this is true. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, Exor at the Valentina spot. Very nice. So you probably noticed there are certain boss fights, Exor here being one of them, where I tried to keep the original, the background of that particular spot where you're fighting them intact. But for some bosses, that's not really an option. Exor is one of those bosses where the background with the sword and the castle and everything is sort of part of the boss itself, is baked into the background. So they look a little strange if you take them outside of their normal background.
A little is questionable. Like, you'll just see a floating clock hand and two bells, because the entire actual clock part is part of the background. And with this, the only thing that he has is two glowing eyes, the two eyes, and the mouth. So
Looks a little strange.
I'd love to see the Exor boss on Cool X's background. I just think that would look really funny for some reason. Just a random face sticking out of the stars.
You know, I just had a great idea. Legendary idea.
Uh-oh.
It's so legendary, I'm not sure I can even disclose this to the public.
Oh my.
What if we have what if we code below Exor? A 6-eye Exor.
I think I'm gonna have nightmares tonight.
We can put it in there with the Hammer Bros. Random how many Hammer Bros you get? Between 1 and 7, 1 and 8. The Hammer Bro gang.
Alan, this is why I like you as a developer.
At some point, the Hammer Bro gang will happen as a flag.
Oh dear, Lullaby just turned one of Gozen's people into a mushroom. That's not fun.
So, something all the developers found out recently is, stuff like that. The Muku Cookie. Amazing item. Actually cures status ailments. None of the developers actually knew that, including me, until, like a month ago.
Yeah, I definitely didn't know that. I recently added some code that makes it so that is like the one item whose price never gets shuffled.
So, even though we developed the game, we still learn stuff about it all the time.
Yep. Constant learning experience with this game.
Yeah. Been playing this game for years. Been ROM hacking it for like a year now. Still learning stuff. What a game.
Yeah, XOR at Valentina is definitely easier than XOR at XOR, but yeah, you're right. Valentina does have a decent magic attack.
So Locke is getting his frames back, and he has a 6th star piece.
Oh wow, we don't actually know where he got that from.
But the trackers do.
And here you see Esenbai's fighting King Calamari, so you notice King Calamari is one of the bosses where we kept the background the same. That one is a little less weird, but because the tentacles are sort of like intended to look like they're coming through the holes in the floor, without this background and the scrolling part of it, if you have one of the other backgrounds with these cutscene portions where the characters walk forward, they get kind of messed up.
Yeah, it's also because this background is just longer, and most of the background is just like this one square. So if you walk forward, you can kind of just walk out into, like, the void, I think. I don't actually know what it looks like. I've never actually looked. But I assume that's what would happen. Have you looked? What?
I have not.
Ah. I might mess with that at some point.
Yeah, I'm curious now. That background, the King Calamari background does still get messed up occasionally. I'm not sure exactly what causes.
Yeah. I'm always confused at what causes that.
Yeah.
But there's weird bugs sometimes with these battlefields, like Booster at the Boomer fight, his text plays twice for some reason, and I don't know why. So it could just be like the spot. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be that specific boss in that specific spot. Yeah. Oh yeah. And now Locke's gonna see the XOR fight. So we haven't seen if Valentina or if XOR here has a star piece yet. But if this isn't the last star piece, then something tells me we're looking at Bowser. Could be the volcano still.
They still have no, they do have Bambino Bomb actually, because somebody got it. Where did he get it from?
Oh yeah, he did. Oh, looks like he just got his 6th one as well.
Ooh, which means Lockie might. Somebody got from. No, he got from Birdo. Okay.
Yeah, Birdo.
Okay.
Birdo had the Elder Key.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
I just hadn't realized that Birdo had the 6 star for the one. So that explains it.
Alright,
So
Locke's got XOR.
now that we're like, I remember at the start of the seed, people were saying that it was very hard to follow 4 streams, which I think is true because the start of the seed, a lot of things are open, and sometimes you might experience like option paralysis. There's so many different things you can do at the start of the seed. There's so many places to go and check for items and things like that. But now that we're like getting further in, their options are kind of limited, and it's like a little easier to follow what each of them is doing, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the interesting things about, I think, this particular randomizer is when we, initially came up with this idea for the open world thing, it wasn't, I guess, immediately obvious. Once we had it open, you realize that a lot of stuff is open from the very beginning of the game. So it kind of starts wide and then narrows, which is not usually the way it goes with these kind of open randomizers, like these open world.
By the way, shouts to Lack Attack 24 for the original idea for SMRPG Go World.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Lack was, I believe, the first person who suggested that idea, at least to my recollection, but I could be wrong on that.
I think so. I saw the screenshots. Look at
this.
zany underwater palette on Terravan's screen on the Gecko.
Oh yeah. This is just bizarre. Yeah, the underwater palettes do some strange things to some enemies when enemies get shuffled into different formations. This is also like 6 enemies in a pack is a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like the Croco 2 slot had the Greeper flag, I think.
Still not enough to check the Ghost Metal slot, but they already have a Tax Scarf. I don't even know if they would want to check more of the M2 slots.
All right,
I need to show Locke about how to jump on Punchinello's head.
Yeah, I just noticed that. He's running around. So it looks like he's got Jinx 2 here at Punchinello.
This is Jinx 3. He's using Bombs Away. But that is Jinx's most terrifying attack, and it did a grand whopping 2 damage on him, so he's in for an easy fight.
Oh yeah, like by this point we've leveled up a lot. I think the Bambino Bomb was a bit harder to find. And so we didn't get to see the Punchinello slot for a while, so now they've leveled up a whole bunch and found a bunch of items, so this shouldn't be too much of a problem. Yeah, Birdo or Mega Smilax, I'm not sure. It's hard to watch 4 people at once.
Also because Locke was having frame drop issues, so there was a lot that we didn't see.
Yeah,
and he did not get a star piece, so he's resetting out of the mines, which, you know what? That's interesting. That's a good strat. Saving the time of having to do the minecart.
Yep, definitely.
The minecart you generally want to do to unlock the Melody Bay 2 and 3 song if you've beaten below, but he already has all the key items he wants, and it's not worth the 2 minutes that it takes to do the minecart.
Yep, yeah, he's basically in go mode, and he's heading into Bowser's Keep to see if there's a star here.
Well, I'm glad we'll actually get to see what's in here.
Yep. Yeah, he's looking for one more, so this could be it. Now, the annoying part about diving Bowser's Keep is that you have to go through the Bowser doors, but for this set of flags, we've shuffled the Bowser doors, which is a wonderful new option that Pidge added, but we've also set the number of doors that they need to do, so they only need to do 2 of the doors.
Also, in Bowser's Castle, there's a chance that if you don't have the right items and, let's say, you're under-leveled somehow, Bowser doors could actually be uncompletable if it's your only save. So, we have the fights are reprogrammed so that if you die, you just go back to Mario's pad, because, to prevent soft blocking like that. In case you cannot fight in case you can't beat the bosses.
Thanks, Chad. Sounds like we have Bowyer, Bunt, Johnny, Jagger, Dodo, and Birdo are our star pieces so far.
Oh, unfortunately, now he's having his frames dropped again.
Yep.
Yeah, that is a good option, Caladan. There, if you really want to feel some pain, yeah, shuffle the doors. Have to do all 6 and shuffle the minigame.
That's flag. I like that flag. That's really brave. Not brave seed. Brave seed's good.
Yeah, the quick preset that Pidge suggested that we added has the Bowser door shuffled, then you only have to do 1 door.
I think I actually don't have the shuffle included in that, just so that you can know for sure that you can do the quickest door in the original game without any chance of a battle door.
Ah, okay, that would make sense, actually.
Just do the invisible floor platforming door. That one takes like less than a minute or something.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so if you want that and chaotic free shops, go ham. And I think it also has the EXP boost turned on, I believe, as well. There's a couple of EXP boosting options to either double or triple the EXP. And there is also an option if you want no EXP from normal battles, so you have to fight bosses to level, if you really don't like yourself.
Now, that is a mean setting.
That's like one of the settings that I think Locke would use for his own enjoyment. He likes to turn on like all the hardest settings possible just to see if he can like actually progress. And I think with everything, every hard mode flag turned on, your only option for getting EXP is to look around, hope you find Hammer Bros and Death Abuse on them.
Yep. It looks like Locke's found one of the quiz doors. Speaking of shuffling minigames, one of the things we'd also like to do, hopefully, is do shuffling, randomizing the quiz questions. So we can, get some community-made questions in there that might be, specific to the season.
We have a whole bunch written up that just haven't been implemented. It'll be an interesting project.
It's going to be a big project to implement that.
Yeah, that's a bit of a pain because there's a lot of pointers involved with the text and whatnot.
Yeah.
I like Punchinello with the Culex music.
Almost vanilla Punchinello.
Yeah, French vanilla. French vanillo.
Are you saying French vanilla because SMBI is a French Canadian?
I wasn't, but I'll take it.
That's unintentionally funny. I like it.
Yep. Looks like Gozengada's got the 6th star piece as well. So there, we're hunting in Bowser's Keep, and looks like did Locke get 2 of the battle doors of the battle rooms in this one door?
Yep.
He did.
Rough.
Everyone can feel free to blame me for that one.
So
love it.
Something slightly unrelated to what's happening now, but chests, you might notice that all chests are actually visible from the start. And that was mostly to allow chest random to be a thing, because in base game there are, again, these chests that are not actually chests, and so you couldn't actually randomize them the way they work. So I just converted them all to normal chests, and in order to do that, they'd all have to be visible so they work properly. The easiest solution. And that's also kind of why, instead of hitting chests multiple times, right now there's a temporary fix because of the way coins work, where you just get all the coins at one lump sum. We were thinking of reverting it, but people seem to really like it, so maybe we keep it or flag it out. I don't know. That'll be a future discussion on.
Yeah, I think people like having the chest visible.
Yeah. Because, again, there's chests that people don't even know exist.
Oh yeah, I think it's generally pretty helpful. So I think in general people like that. So we can probably keep that.
Yeah.
I'm glad that's a thing, so I don't have to teach everybody where all the hidden chests are.
Yeah, you just have to learn. Like, that would be a pain in the butt.
The double chest in the Balloon Temple, though, still gets people. They still don't know it's there, some people. Because you just walk right under it.
Yeah, that's one of those things where, we did it because it made things easier from a technical perspective, but it also just worked out well because people like.
Yeah.
Okay, Locke is done with his first Bowser door, so he has to do one more.
Ooh. Good first
platform.
So wait, if you fail the platform room now, it doesn't send you to the platform, it sends you to the start.
It's only for this room, because this was the room that was giving me issues with the fact that it just, would not reload when you died, and it was only this room and no others, so I just forced it to rerun its entrance event when you died, and that always sends you back to the start, but the other platforming doors aren't affected by that.
I kinda like it, I gotta be honest. I kinda like it.
Yeah, I said, you know what? One of these days I'll look into fixing that, but for now, just get good at the door.
Yeah.
So, we have an interesting divergence here. So SMBI is betting on the volcano having the last star piece.
Ooh. Yeah, Locke never checked the volcano, did he?
No, I don't believe so. So yeah, we're gonna see who's correct on where it is. Because if it is in the volcano, then Locke is spending a lot of time diving Bowser Keep for nothing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're not going to see a randomized puzzle. He didn't get any other randomized ones in these 2 rooms.
Well, not yet. Not yet.
I think this is the third part of the second door.
Yeah,
Well,
it is. I think this is the last room.
Locke might, but someone might not, but someone else might.
Someone else might.
You're right. You are absolutely right. I did not even think about that.
Hopefully someone else will hit them.
I hope so, for my boy Switch, who spent a lot of time programming that.
Shadows
Also funny.
Yeah.
Funny that question about where the 3rd star piece was found is not actually valid in the randomizer, really.
Uh-huh.
Same with the one that asked about the 1st star piece. Same with... Actually, I think those are the only 2.
Yep.
There's always the question about how many legs does Wiggler have that makes me really mad every time I see it.
Oh, hey, Bo.
I am excited for the future Pidgeler randomization, where they will
There's
get
already a
various
bot
body
in my
segments.
chat that does that.
Yes, but now back in game, when you go to the pipe, instead you see a single head Wiggler. It's the head Wiggler. Or
you just see a Wiggler with like 50 legs. You're like, when is this thing gonna be done walking out of this pipe, dude?
he's coming out and he's going back in at the same time.
He's like the Mobius strip Wiggler.
Ooh, so Bowyer's at the Magic Koopa spot, and his magic attacks are doing quite a bit of damage.
Oh yeah, he's gonna have quite a lot of magic attack here, but also almost no defense power and not that much HP.
Yeah, he went down pretty quick there. Let's see if there's a star piece here.
Nope.
Oh, nothing there. We got 2 more shots here.
Oh,
Terravan found 2.
Yeah, he's about to have some fun.
Croco, did I cut see? I don't think I cut see it. I think Croco's about to drop a super important message to everybody. See ya.
See ya. He's telling you about what item you should use if you get into an encounter.
It's a good item.
It's a built-in in-game hint.
Getting through that thwomp room without too much trouble. Now let's see who's on the chandelier.
Someday we'll change it to show the boss that's there, but not today.
Hey, it's below. Yeah. That's one thing that we do want to do. Actually, hopefully, is get it so that you will actually see the boss that is in that spot on the overworld map before the battle starts. But that's a little bit more difficult than it sounds.
Well, it's easy to lost spots, but in some spots it's really difficult.
Yeah.
Another fun thing about the palette swap is when Locke goes to attack the clone, it actually will say Waluigi clone and not Mario clone.
You went deep on this.
Well, actually, that was SNES Chalmers helping me with that. He actually is the one that found me the addresses for that.
Oh, cool.
So, shoutouts to 5 Waluigis on Locke's.
Alan is just like losing his mind right now.
I can't take this. This is too much.
Oh, he's doing the pure water strat. I love it. That is like the cosmic brain strat on Balome that I love when people actually do.
Also, this is a very strong set of Hammer Brothers at Zardragon.
Yeah, you know, the first thing my best friend ever said to me in my entire life was blocking hammer time is important, and he wasn't wrong.
Yeah, when Hammer Brothers are at Zardragon, they're doing a lot of damage with that hammer time.
Yeah, you got learn how to block.
All three of the developers currently commentating this are also any percent speedrunners, so that's like one of the first things you learn in the speedrun is how to block hammer time.
I am a low-level speedrunner.
You certainly are. In fact, you're an extremely godlike low-level speedrunner, and you're also, I think, like the highest-ranked person any percent to do 100 super jumps on an emulator.
I think so. There was Crystal, and Crystal was the god of emulated super jumps, but...
Oh, yeah, she does. I don't think her time is on the leaderboard.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, let's see if Zardragon has
what
it.
her PB was.
I think she unlocked the super jumps once and went like 300 on emulator or something.
She got 900 and something.
Wow.
Nope, no star piece yet.
Look at that! Legendary! Oh,
There's your Easter egg!
Oh, wow, this is a good seed I rolled. We have an Easter egg from Pidge with the palette swap. Chocolate.
That actually wasn't my doing. That was Airshon's doing. He did that sprite. I just wrote the palette swap code, but it was demanded by Alanim, so went in.
I snuck it in like 6 months ago. I was like, all right, when we randomize the bosses and the palettes, we gotta get the chocolate bun in.
I made sure
that's just a random chance if palette swap's enabled.
Yeah.
I think so. I actually made that I actually kept that top secret. Like, our graphics team has 7 people on it, but I specifically messaged that one person on a graphics team and I asked him if he'd be willing to make this and to keep it like a secret from everybody in the Randomizer Discord. And I only told Alan about it.
And when we first released the patch notes, Dorkmaster slightly gave it away for about 20 seconds. I was like, Dorkmaster, you gotta delete that. That's the secret.
Oh yeah, I accidentally put it in the patch notes very brief. Well, we deleted it. It's fine. But now it's released to the world. I'm really happy that happened on this showcase.
Yeah.
I can't actually remember if I made it random chance or guaranteed. I honestly don't remember.
Because it took like 3 days before someone found it, so I think it was random.
And this Mac is going to have quite a lot of HP because this is the Axum Ranger spot.
That's correct. There is a small amount taken away from Mac and given to the bodyguards because they are required to finish the fight, but they have a very, very tiny proportion of HP compared to Mac. I think it's less than 10%.
Yeah, so I think Locke and SMBI have not found that last star piece yet, so I think one of the two is about to find it.
This is exciting.
Let's see who's right, who's wrong.
Yeah,
Who's
so we got
be?
Mac with a ton of HP at Axum Rangers, and Bunt is at the Exor spot, so that's quite a bit of magic attack, I think.
Yeah, not to mention turning people into mushrooms.
Oh yeah, that's pretty rough cake.
However, Locke is about to finish phase 2 of the cake. He did it. He got raspberry. Well, a chocolate raspberry. I like chocolate raspberry.
That is delicious. The cake is more delicious than normal. This cake is not a lot.
So, something most people don't know is there's actually faces on each layer of the cake for Bun and Raspberry. There's actually... So, technically, I guess the third head is the candle head that lights the candles, because if you have all the candles up, they do another attack. So, maybe that's the lore? I don't know.
One thing that I like about the Mac fight is that his script is actually decently complicated. Like, there are very specific conditions as to when, like, he'll summon people and when he'll try and leave and things like that. And also determining what attacks he uses. And that was kind of annoying for me to have to route in speedruns.
There it is. Locke has the final star piece. It was at Exor.
Yep,
Locke is in go mode.
Yeah. Bowser's Keep is required, which means we might still see that puzzle rando.
Yeah, man, having a star on Exor, is that like the pedestal required seed?
It kind of is.
Yeah, like I feel like this was a bit of a rough one here. I feel like most of the stars were in kind of deep spots.
But it won't be long before SMBI finds his final star piece as well. He's only got Bowser's Keep left to check, and he is bolting right there.
Yeah, he knows exactly what to do. So Locke is looking like he's just going to stock up on some items before heading into the factory. But so the way the star piece shuffle works is once you've got all the star pieces, then the pathway on the map to the factory will be open. So then you can just go straight there. So it was possible that Bowser's Keep may not have been required, but it turned out to.
I mean, if you're lucky, you could get a star on Hammer Bros Spot, Croco 1, Mac, Balloon, Pandorite, all the way to like Croco 2, and just be done with the star hunt by then.
Yeah, I've definitely seen some of the, the God mode seeds where you get a bunch of stars in the early boss slots. This seed didn't have any of that. I think we didn't find stars for a while, and they were all like decently far in, or very far in.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, sometimes you'll just get an all boss seed, or sometimes you'll get you're going to Smithy's factory in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, so what bosses haven't we seen yet? Who's in the factory here?
I don't think we've seen Booster yet.
Oh yeah, no we haven't.
We've seen Hammer Bros.
You rid of it?
Ooh, I don't think we've seen rid of it. Have we seen Pandorite? Or Hidden? I don't think we've seen Hidden. Ooh, Hidden can be rough. Especially if we see.
Oh yeah, Balloon 1. Yeah, too bad we saw Culex already.
Oh, and Jagger!
Oh, this is gonna be a really strong Jagger at Countdown.
Weak to physicals, but he has high physicals, so maybe you get through all the defense they have, because they have high defense right now from all the gear they've got.
Jagger is also one of those bosses where, like, he can be as easy as Hammer Bros if you just practice the time blocks on him, because he does not do any unblockable moves.
And he's only got 2 moves, so.
That's a good point, C-Note. Jagger and Countdown were actually just swapped places.
That's true. I don't like that. So I'm actually wondering where Gozen is going to go next, because he has 6 star pieces. I wonder what choice he's going to make.
Yeah, I think he's got to pick between the volcano and Bowser's Keep. Oh, has he not done Nimbus Land yet?
He has to have, because Birdo had a star.
No, but
Right,
he hasn't
yeah.
killed Valentini yet.
Oh, he hasn't killed
That's
Valentini.
right.
Exor, yeah, Exor.
Okay, yeah, so he's gonna go do the Valentina spot, and then he'll have to make a choice. I think Bowser's Keep is slower, but it has 3 bosses to the volcanoes too.
Once you get there, the bosses are just back to back to back. Unlike
Yeah. So, like, playing the odds, it is more likely to be in Bowser's Keep, slightly more.
I actually wondered. It's probably only a little slow to go to Bowser's Keep actually versus Volcano. By like a minute, I imagine. Especially with only 2 doors.
It used to be like everyone would always go to Bowser's Keep very, very last, because it's a heavily backloaded dungeon with very repetitive tasks that you have to do to get there.
Yeah.
As opposed to Bear Volcano, which at least has like a shop and an EXP star to break up the monotony. But now that like we've added the flags for Bowser's Keep, I see people attempting it earlier because like it's a lot more enticing to go there now that like it's just kind of a quality of life change.
Yeah.
And Locke is just turbo moding his way through the factory here. This is basically the Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, he's doing really well in this room. He's improved a lot with his platforming. This is awesome.
Yeah, it's been cool seeing these players who are the big rando runners getting more into like learning these movement strats, doing things that you would do in the speedrun.
Yeah, when I was seeing him going through that room, I was just like, yo, when's this guy gonna start running any percent?
Shoutouts to see you, by the way. It's a good item. It really helps you out in times of need.
See, Croco was good to give us that advice.
Locke took it.
Yeah.
He saw Sia and he's like, yeah, I should use that. That's a good item.
So Terravan, I think, is in Nimbus Castle now, so he should get another star piece here. And he's definitely missing the one at Exor, obviously, and I'm not sure where the other one he's missing is. Yeah, so the races happen, well, pretty much whenever people want to organize them, but I think there's usually people organizing some races, you know, multiple times a week. Just in terms of like random people in the community. We have a channel in the Discord. We've made like a section with a bunch of randomizer channels. So we have a race organization channel where you can hit people up if you want.
Terravan working his way through Nimbus Land as well. He's about to get his 6-star piece. Or no, not his 6-star piece. He just got his 5th from Birdo. So he's still got 2 more on the loose.
Yeah, he's like still needs the one at Exor, at the Exor spot, but I'm not sure where the other one he's missing.
I would imagine the Dojo Star.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's gone there yet. Well, at least that one's easy to get to.
Gozen got having some issue on Exor at Valgino.
Yeah, fighting Exor without Gino.
It's a really tough fight.
Oh yeah. I like turning the flag on that disables the Exor Geno Whirl bug so that people have to experience that as intended.
They are not prepared most of the time because he's like gotta be the hardest fight in the game, barring like Smithy and maybe Axum Ranger. No, yeah, I think he's harder than Axum Ranger and Kulix.
Yeah, I would say so. I would probably wager that Kulix is possibly easier depending on how you equip your party, because you can negate all the elemental damage.
Yeah.
So, as a child, I never knew that you could Geno Whirl Exor, and I must have beaten this game like at least 40 times growing up. So I feel like I've done my time, and I'm entitled to never turn that flag on.
Oh, hey, Johnny, that's one we didn't see.
That's right, I was saying that earlier, but I forgot my mic was muted.
Alright, yeah, so Terravan's also going to finish off Nimbus Land and do this Exor fight. And hopefully Terravan will go check the dojo, and hopefully both of them will decide to go to Bowser's Keep instead of the vault. Yeah, so the time... the people who are having trouble with the Geno Whirl timing on Exor, the timing for that particular one, you want to kind of do it as the disc is, like, right before the disc leaves the screen, basically, if you're having trouble with that. We do have, I think, some timing information on the wiki for that.
Once you get down Geno Whirl timing, it's pretty easy, because it's 30 frames, which is a lot for how much damage you can do.
I think it's actually only 16 frames. But that's still a lot. It's twice the length of a regular timed hit attack.
Yeah.
But to follow up on what you were saying, Fleck, we actually do have that linked on the wiki, and if you type !SMRPG in the chat and you go to the Randomizer website, there's a section on there called the Player's Guide, and inside the Player's Guide, it actually lists all the different spells that your party can learn, and it links to all the timed hit windows for the ones that we have documented. That is a work in progress. It's about 2/3 of the way done, the timed hit documentation, but it's being worked on.
Yeah, that if you're new to the Randomizer and you're maybe not super familiar with the vanilla game, that guide is a fantastic resource, and that's another thing that Pidge put together for us and did a great job on.
Thank you. That was my first contribution to the Randomizer.
Yeah, Pidge just out here being useful.
Pidge is doing everything for us.
I wouldn't go that far. I have the Tadpole Pond songs memorized because you have to do it in my favorite speedrun category.
all my years playing, I've never memorized a single one of these minigames. Except for, I guess, the quiz.
Yeah, Pidge is referring to the category that she's going to be running at RPG Limit Break, shameless plug.
Thank you for shamelessly plugging my upcoming speedrun.
Yeah, make sure you tune in to RPG Limit Break later on. Is that this month or next month?
It's next month.
Okay. Wait, I didn't hear that. Did you say Pidge is running SMRPG most of the stuff at RPG Limit Break?
She sure is.
Ah, okay, alright, I just want to make sure.
Terravan going for Bambino Bomb. I wonder if he's gonna reset out of here. Probably not, because he just hit that save point.
Yeah, I think he's going for the punch and an fight.
Should be running most of the stuff, which is kind of like 100% for,
Yeah, so Pidge is going to be doing a vanilla run. It's not the randomizer, but the category that she's doing is called most of the stuff, which is basically the pseudo 100% category for this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you've never seen it before, it's a pretty cool run because you get to see all the weird, fun things in this game that you would never normally see in a...
And you mostly don't see them in Rando because they're all cut out.
Yeah.
No. Terravan is opting to backtrack instead of doing the minecart. I guess this is still faster than if he was going to do the minecart.
Yeah.
Because he saved. He took the save point, so now he can't just reset out of the mine.
And Balone won before Smith. That's one of the director fights, ETAP. One of the Shovel Knight fights. It's really like...
Sadly, I think SMI also did not see a puzzle room.
No, he didn't. Yeah, that's disappointing. Where's our puzzle rooms? Oh, we got 2 more shots, I guess. Man, a lot of Smithy music at the end of this factory fight. And here's Hydon. Oh yeah, so for the most of the stuff category that Pidge is going to be running, it's not minus all that dumb stuff. She still has to do all that dumb stuff.
Yeah. It's still fun though, and it's actually pretty cool that like a lot of the stuff in that category has like it helps you for like knowing where a lot of things are in the randomizer, like knowing all the chest locations. The other day I saw a streamer in the name of DT. He the Bambino Bomb was at the location where the frog coin is in the box boy room. So where Gozengata is right now. He's underground in Bean Valley, and you jump up in the corner of that room under the like the ceiling kind of staircase thing, and there's normally a frog coin there. It's an invisible item, and he found the Bambino Bomb there, and I think there was a star piece on the Bambino Bomb, and yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah, there was, yeah, because he pinged me looking for where the Bambino Bomb was. And before I could actually tell him, he was like, "Oh, never mind. I just learned about a new item look."
You know, I think that might be one of those things that might just be a frog coin, but I might have turned it into a chest. But you know what? It works.
Hey, it's Booster.
I don't know.
That must be Mario. No, actually, it's Waluigi, but...
I mean... Is Waluigi a plumber, you think?
He's an evil
man,
plumber.
I would love to modify that text box to say what Mario's name is, but chances are it's going to be harder than I think.
No, it should be easy.
Well, I mean, because I don't know how long Mario's name is going to be.
Just go on a like replace it with like a longer piece of text and have extra space. You just fill the void like space.
That's true. That's true. I could do that.
Yeah.
Dev talk during commentary. This is how we roll.
Yup. Alright, so looks like Terravan is making the volcano play, unfortunately, so it's going to take him a little bit longer to find that last star.
Yeah, when you have D2S turned on, Volcano versus Keep is really kind of a crapshoot. They take like approximately as long as each other, I think, just because like Volcano is kind of a big dip, but so is Bowser's Keep if you don't know whether or not you're going to be able to escape the battle doors. And you still have to do 2 of them and not just 1.
You know.
Oh man, Pandoroid is dead.
Looking through the books, I think I've come to terms. I think I found out that Waluigi is actually a septic tank cleaner. That's his job. Makes sense.
Alan, I'm a big fan of every single lore drop you've ever given this community.
I went through. I did some sleuthing, and I think that's his job.
My favorite contribution of yours to Mario lore is the fact that SMB2 US takes place during Mario being conked out in the Geno cutscene in this game.
Yes, that is true. That is the real lore. That's why it doesn't quite make sense. But
if that's not canon, I'm just gonna pretend it is.
Oh, it's canon.
What?
So looks like Gozengada's also going for the Punchinello fight to check for that star piece.
I'm still waiting for someone to run SMRPG, and right when they get knocked out, they swap on an SMB2 speedrun. They beat it, boom, they wake up, they're good to go. One day.
Well, that was an incredibly strange dream. Now let's go find a giant walking doll.
Yeah.
Alright, there's the final star piece for SMBI.
SMBI has now hit go mode.
Ebby's gonna be heading straight into the factory.
Now, we don't know how difficult Smithy could be. I've seen some of the randomized seeds that, with randomized boss stats, oh goodness, he's been kind of
He can be a real monster.
Alan, do you remember that seed that we did with Lack and Mill, where, oh my, you know exactly which one I'm talking about because you laughed as soon as I had said it.
It was that was a disaster. Well, to be fair, I think I could have beat that one a little faster, but at the time I wanted to prove that death abuse wasn't mandatory. And was really being stubborn about it.
I don't think I did much death abuse in that seed either, but you know what? I like the cut of your...
So...
Oh, that sledge!
Man!
Wow!
Yikes! What was I just saying, man? That is a big ol' yikes from me.
Yeah, that's a yikes from me too, dog.
Oh my...
Mega Drain!
Oh, wow. Okay, Smithy seems to have gotten some real good stats this season.
Alright. Hopefully for their sakes that Smithy 2 is a little scaled down from this. Because, man.
Don't go anywhere yet, folks. We are gonna maybe be here for a while. Although getting that Gina boost out on Mario, that is a good start.
Two hours and 17 minutes in, and we still don't know if this is a 4-hour seed. Sorry, with Smithy. And it could be the 4-hour seed. You never know.
Smithy is swole.
Woo! Locked in by any red essences, did he? Oh, he did. What am I saying? Yeah. That one seed, Alan, that we did, I actually spammed my only red essences to deplete the FP of the 2 shy guys. And that's how I won the fight. And then I had no red essences for Smithy too, so we'll see what Locked.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Locke's level is as high as the other racers.
He did skip Barrow Volcano entirely. He may have skipped other locations as well.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
So, Yeah, for some of the people who just happen to be joining us, basically this is an open world randomizer inspired by, you know, things like Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise, where the whole map basically is open to you. The main things you want to know for what's going on here is the locations of the star pieces are shuffled, and you need to find all 7 of them to open the way to the factory. And the bosses are also shuffled. So which boss is in which location is randomized, and scaling happens with the stats similar to, you know, FF4. Oh, looks like they managed to get rid of one of the Shy Guys FP.
To answer Simon's question in chat, the Shy Guys don't inherit Smithy's stats. I believe they're randomized on their own. Every other boss in this game works like anything that the boss spawns or any of the boss's allies, their stats are like scaled based on what the main boss inherits, but Smithy's not one of them in the boss shuffle logic.
Yeah, so they may have just gotten an unlucky seed, where Smithy and his ads are very. So Locke has used a red essence during the Smithy fight that makes you invincible for 3 turns, and it looks like he did manage to get through the first phase of that fight. Hopefully, he can last long enough to get Geno boost off, maybe a.
Well done to Locke, making it to phase 2. Let's see what Smithy 2 has in store for him. Also, yeah, what Fleck was saying is that he has a red essence, which, if you're not familiar with that item, it is a pretty rare item in the original game. It's an item that you can cast on anybody in your party that makes them completely invincible for 3 turns. A fun flag we've actually added to this randomizer is the fake out flag, which is where the mushroom that you can buy from the Goomba triplets that normally turns you into a mushroom can actually give you a random status effect, which 88% of the time is going to be a bad status, but 12% of the time is invincibility, so it's effectively a $3 red essence. I've never seen anybody go for it in a race, but the day that somebody does, I will feel very justified in helping create that flag.
Okay, hopefully Smithy 2 will maybe be a little more manageable here. Caracola is a good.
Oh, lucky. Made it into Smithy 2. Nice.
Oh, nice. He had a bracer there, so he used the bracer on Bowser to hopefully get some Geno boosts off. I like that.
Alright, we're gonna see if Smithy 2 is just as strong as Smithy 1 here in a second. Oh, guess not.
I'm going straight to the map. Oof.
Was that 94 blocked?
That was 94 blocked.
And that's Geno boosted, right?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, yeah, that's a big yikes, dog.
Alright, only 34 for the cannon on Bowser. That's not that bad.
I don't like where this is going.
So it's... Man, that's a strong hand cannon.
They're gonna have words for me after this seed, aren't they?
Well, you have to generate the chocolate cake. That's why.
That mean, you know what? That absolves you of any guilt.
Yeah.
There's no blame to be had for anything if you generate chocolate cake.
I'm gonna agree with this.
It makes everything forgivable.
That's true.
Oh, no one can forgive me for anything, though. I made everything in the game more expensive, so now I'm public enemy #1.
So, you'll notice in the background of Smithy 2, this is a deep one, that the background is made of Smithy, like the original Smithy heads. And that's because it's kind of like a analogy for the millions of times that people have gone and killed Smithy 2. He just keeps coming back and we just keep putting him down.
So Locke has Red Essence cast on all 3 of his party members. That is excellent. That is going to help him a lot. And you'll notice he's doing a ton of damage to Smithy because each of his different heads have different stats. And typically the mage head that he was just on takes the most damage. It has the lowest physical defense. Even though stats are shuffled, it is based on the original stats, so it's still going to be, most of the time you're going to see that formation not have really any good physical defense.
Yeah, Group Hug does, so we actually found out what causes that. Apparently Group Hug sets the debuff timer for everything, or the timer for all buffs to 0 turns. So when it rolls back around to the character, it purges it. So, shout out to Yakibum for finding out about that. And yes, the background is in fact made of a bunch of unformed Smithy heads. Just hundreds of them. It's pretty spooky when you really look at it.
Oh, he needs his extra head.
Locke is back on Mage Head, which can be dangerous because Bowser and Malon no longer have their red essences up. Oh wait, no, Bowser and Mario don't, but Malon.
Yeah, Mal's got Group Hug there. I think he should be okay now. It looks like it's not doing a ludicrous amount of damage.
Yeah, he can definitely survive that as long as he blocks these physical attacks. I spoke too soon, I think, but he's still okay.
Also, as
oh, he did it! He did it!
Nice.
And Locke is our first place finisher.
Nice!
Time of 25-29. Congratulations to him finishing first in our first ever open world showcase on Speed Gaming.
In our first SMRPG Go World showcase.
Go World.
Go World indeed.
I think like Ralph Wiggum just needs to be the mascot for this now. Go World.
Go World!
Hey there, Locke. How's it going?
Oh,
hey,
man.
buddy!
How's it going? I'm good. I can't believe I actually did that.
Yeah, that Smithy hit a little hard.
When the first sledge hit, I was not gonna lie.
We were spooked for you, man. That was very scary.
Oh yeah, I was like, does he have Red Essence? And like, as soon as I finished my sentence, you scrolled to the screen where you had like 7 of them. I'm like, oh yeah, he's got this.
Well, I knew there was red essences in the Seaside shop, but I was gonna check the juice bar just in case, and they were there. So I'm like, I'm buying a whole bunch of those real quick.
That's a good call.
That was a fantastic call. You played that fight, like, especially Smithy, too. You played extremely well. And Smithy won Red Essence thing to kind of, like, deal with the Shy Guy's very, very smart move. You did a great job with that.
I was thinking about getting everyone up, but I'm like, I could probably just kill Smithy one in about 5-6 hits. I was like, I'm just gonna power, because I know everyone will get back up as soon as I fall down to Smithy too.
So when you found your 7th star piece, like, did you think that you had that you were probably ahead of everybody, or did you think you were behind, or were you just like not thinking about that?
My first thought was yes, I made the right call.
Yeah.
That was
Awesome.
literally my first thought.
Yeah, we noticed you went to Bowser's Keep instead of going to the volcano, which turned out to be the right call.
I figured
you might for that.
You actually,
I was strong enough for it.
You found your star piece in Bowser's Keep at the exact same time that SMBI finished Volcano and found nothing for it, and he only had Bowser's Keep left, so that gave you the edge in the showcase race.
Mm-hmm.
That'll do it, yeah. Yeah, I figured since Bowser's Keep was 3 boss checks rather than 2 versus Volcano and then 1 on Jinx 3, I would rather just try my luck for a 50-50 chance pretty much.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
There were some close calls though, like Mega Smile X and X.
Mm-hmm.
Those are a little too close.
Lots of people have been, like, almost everyone's been having issues with XOR.
I forgot to heal before I went in, so that was my thing.
Yeah, it's a tough fight. Especially at that spot.
Well, I noticed Metal Learned Whirl, so I wasn't too worried when I found XOR. Just if I had healed beforehand, I wouldn't have needed the miss on both Mario and... Without that miss, I probably would have wiped right there.
Yeah.
Oh, Hey, so Gozengata found the magic button.
Oh!
We get to see a randomized minigame. He's thinking.
Oh, he did it!
Oh, he did it! He did it!
Well, I'm glad we at least got to see one of them.
Yeah, I tried to find the other ones. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all good. You had a Smithy to kill, and kill him you certainly did. So, what do you have like any other thoughts about that scene? Like, how did you kind of find it difficulty-wise or anything like that?
The first like 2 bosses I ran into weren't fun. Seeing as how they were able to wipe me out extremely fast, I thought I would be fine with the attack scar. But I decided just to leave them and come back because I mean I don't have to initially kill them right. But otherwise, it was actually pretty good. I mean, I had a lot lower defenses than I would have liked, but
I'm very impressed by your Smithy fight. You clutched that out, and it really paid off.
Yeah.
There was like talk going around, I guess, between us and Chad's like, oh, is he gonna have to grind? Like, what's he gonna have to do? And you just, nope, you just did it.
Now, here's the real question everyone's been asking. How did it feel to have 5 Waluigis on screen at one time?
oh, that was amazing. I was hoping that would happen, honestly.
Okay. Alright.
Yeah, as soon as I went up to Bellum 2, I'm like, please keep eating Mario. I will kill everything else off to get the 5 Waluigi.
My boy.
When you used the pure water, it made me very happy.
Well, I learned that from you, so.
I love when people listen to the things I have to say.
I'm just sorry, Paige. I couldn't show you max skip. I had practice, but I couldn't get it. And I didn't retry.
That's okay. I appreciate that you tried. Honestly, the fact that you start off with 3 characters, it's not really all that necessary to do in the randomizer. It just saves a little bit of time. A little bit.
It would save more because it was Jinx 1.
True. However, I haven't been doing max skip lately myself either, so you know what? It's okay.
And here comes the custom credits. Shouts to Swinch for getting this to work. He spent like a couple weeks getting this working.
Yeah, Swinch is another awesome member of our development team, and he was the one that made the custom credits a thing in this game. They're not completed yet, but he's been pretty busy lately going for that sub 3 in SMRPG any %. So maybe one day when he's got more time, he'll pick this up again.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So we've got like, you know, a few people now. I think about 3 main people doing the ROM hacking, and they all kind of have like different spots of the game in their knowledge pool. Like Swinch's whole thing, basically, he pretty much. So we have, you know, a lot of good documentation about the data structures and everything in this game from some other groups of people who are also thanked in the credits in the special thanks section, who made a ROM hack called SMRPG Armageddon, and they documented a lot of stuff in the ROM, which was super helpful. But the credits we really didn't have any kind of documentation for, so Swinch basically reverse engineered that entirely.
By the way, shouts to the Armageddon devs, Dark Kefka, Doomsday, Yaki Bomb, and the rest of them. Because, like, some of the features in this game just would not exist without them. I had to reverse engineer Armageddon to find some of their features and implement them into the game. That's the kind way to say it. I might have stole some of their tech. Though we give them credit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We absolutely just flagrantly stole good ideas from other randomizers. The web-based ROM patching stuff that Link to the Past does, and you know, flag selection like Free Enterprise.
Free Enterprise is a fantastic, very extremely well done randomizer that Locke is also very proficient at. This guy likes to turn on all the hardest flags imaginable and just do it. He's like very much a trial by fire kind of player, and I had high hopes for you doing well in this race for that reason. Like, you know how to get out of bad situations.
Yeah, my strategy usually tends to be punch it in the face, kill it before it kills me, so glad it worked out.
I respect the trial by fire mentality. That's what I like.
Well, you're a low-level speedrunner, so of course you do.
But yeah. It's fun. Suffering is fun.
Yeah. So now we get to see the randomizer credits part. And funny, so the Armageddon developers. That's a very cool ROM hack if you ever want to check it out. Hey, that's me. So one of the Armageddon devs, Yaki Bomb, is also involved in the randomizer now. So he came in and helped us out with a bunch of like the animation related bugs because he actually knows quite a bit about the animation code, which was really cool.
He knows so much; it blows me away because it's very complicated, and he just makes it look easy. Which I've spent like I've been on and off looking at it for a long time, and I barely started to crack the surface of it. So again, him coming in was just leaps and bounds for the randomizer for what we could free up.
Yeah, it's fantastic to have all these multiple people involved now. Stats coming soon. We'll see how long that takes.
Well, what kind of stats are we gonna see though?
Special message from past that what? Don't try it, Colonel and him. I already did. All right. That's good to know. All right.
Pastel and him always has our backs. That guy knows what's up.
Yeah.
Memes are definitely coming. They're already here.
Go world.
All right.
Yeah. So stats are something that is definitely on the feature wish list. If we can figure out a good way to implement those.
All right, guys. I guess I'm gonna have to cancel wrestling that alligator tonight. I'm being told it's not a good idea.
Current Allen already did it.
Yeah.
What on earth is going on in the southern U.S.?
I mean, it's probably involved alligator.
So it looks like SMI is kind of finding him in the same situation that Locke was in, where he's faced with 2 dead party members and the third one low HP. He had to opt for the red essence. And that lucky miss on an unboosted Bowser? Oh my goodness. He's thinking about using another red essence, but he's running low. I don't think he brought as many on with him as Locke did.
Yeah, you might regret that.
However, he did have the EXP booster, and he also cleared out the volcano. In fact, I think he full cleared all the bosses in the seed. So he's got quite a bit of EXP to work with, so his levels are decently high.
But I think the person with the EXP booster is currently face down on the ground.
I thought that Peach could wear it too. Someone said she was at level 17 very early.
Maybe he maybe he swapped it up. Okay, that was a good idea then.
I always get sad when I don't see a rock candy freebie.
Yo, someone just had a good idea. Because of the lore, maybe we should have it so the trivia questions is it's Super Mario Land 2. I don't know anything about that. I was gonna say Super Mario Bros. 2 lore in the trivia. For continuity's sake.
Yeah, I think he's only got the 1 red essence, it looks like. You want to save that Caracola for face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the nice thing about going into Phase 2 of the Smithy fight is that any KO'd party members get revived, even if it is with 1 health, and anyone who has a boost gets to retain their boost.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just managed to get there. That meteor
did it.
swarm.
Yeah.
SMI is moving into Phase 2, which means Mario is going to be alive with 1 HP, and hopefully can get a heal off on him.
Alright.
Or excuse me, Star.
About to go into factory.
Yeah, so Teravan has the last star, and Gozengada's gonna get his last star very shortly.
Wow, Teravan was like 3 star pieces behind this whole seed, and now he's the 3rd one to enter Go mode. Good for him.
Yeah, caught up real fast.
Gozen has had 6 star pieces for a while, but I think he got very lucky with the slots he checked first because now I think he's full cleared everything else before finding this last one.
Yeah, he did. He had an early lead with the star pieces, got a bunch of them pretty quickly, and just did not check Bowser's Keep until now.
Oh yeah, Sinus is right. Exor also was a problematic boss too.
Yeah, that's true. At that Exor at Valentine. I wonder if I didn't see who learned Geno Whirl, if anyone. Could be like one of the less useful characters. They're not. Yeah.
Do you remember what level he learned it at?
14, I want to say.
Ooh, that's late. Did
that is pretty.
That for Valentina, for Exor?
Yeah, I had that for it. Okay. I had the EXP booster on Mallow because he could equip it, so he learned it like at Land's End or so.
That makes sense.
Oh, hey. So we got to see something we haven't actually mentioned yet. So SMBI just used Psychopath on Smithy, and he has 9,433 HP, so a decent amount more than Vanilla. But you'll notice that the Psychopath message that usually tells you what the boss is thinking is actually been replaced with something that resembles those equipment descriptions, where it shows you basically what the boss is weak to in terms of elemental damage and status effect.
There is also a very rare 1 in 255 chance that any boss, including Smithy, can be hit by Geno Whirl. Like, in the description it's like 9999. That means you can use Geno Whirl on that boss. It's a very rare chance. I haven't seen it on Smithy, but I have seen it on Jagger before.
Yeah, that was a fun little option that we threw in a while ago, just as a fun little, maybe you'll get a lucky roll and you'll have a boss that is actually vulnerable to the instant.
I can't wait until somebody rolls that and sees it with Psychopath and just does it.
And does it on Smithy? I'm waiting for that. Just one shot Smithy 2. Doesn't even change his head. Just boom, dead.
Okay, so now that he's on Smithy 2, I think SMBI is in a pretty decent spot.
Yeah, he's at quite a high level for his party. I don't think he's too scared of Mage Head's magic. Although he might opt to toss out a healing item, just to be safe. Because, even with randomized base damage on the spell, sometimes you really don't know what's waiting for you.
Yeah, he's not using Mallow, so he doesn't have access to Group Hub. He does have 1 Terracola.
No access to Group Hug. Oh, actually, that might make this difficult.
Yeah, good block there on Peach. She would have gone down. Yeah, he's thinking about going for the Caracola.
I really hope he can pull this off. I'm a big fan of going into Smithy with very minimal resources and just making it work somehow.
Yeah, I mean, when you gotta go fast.
As opposed to smart people like Locke who go in with a ton of red essences, the strat that I should be doing and just never do because I'm too lazy to go to the shop.
Yeah, now, he is dishing out a lot of damage here because Smithy is staying on the Mage Head for a little while.
The downside, though, is it's also doing a lot of damage to him. Although not as much as you'd expect.
It's manageable, yeah.
Yeah. It's probably better than Tank Head.
Yeah, Peach is getting focus fired, it seems.
But he's really just ripping Smithy apart.
Yeah, every turn is 1,500 damage. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think Terrorize is more of an issue in the base game, just because Bowser doesn't have very much magic attack, so it's more useful for the fear status.
Yeah, if you play, especially like if you play with non-randomized enemy stats, and you know which bosses can be feared and terrorized, like shoots way up the tier list in usefulness of spells.
So SMI is about to get shredded, which is a spell that removes all buffs from your party. Assuming he doesn't kill him right here, that is. Oh, he hasn't done it yet. Which can be very bad, because you'll take more damage, do less damage, and you have to rebuff.
He doesn't have any crystallines, does he?
I don't think so. Oh, he's power.
No, but he does have a power blast.
Yeah, power blast seems like it'll at least keep him safe for a little bit on this formation, but if Mage Head comes back, I'm worried. However, he does have Bowser who can do defense boost if he gets scared about the damage he's taking.
Yeah, the safe head is not switching back so far.
But he can. Oh,
There you go. Okay, he's tank head again. There we go.
Alright. GG's pressing by.
GG. Yeah, all right, not bad. So yeah, sub 3 looking like the game here.
GG's to SM by.
Assuming he's gonna hop in here in a moment.
Yep.
Goes in not far behind.
Yeah. He should be to 50 in about 10 minutes, I imagine. Got to get through the management gauntlet. And it's a tight race between Terror and Gozengata.
Oh yeah, Gozen caught all the way up to Terror. He was behind by a whole star piece. But he made quick work of the factory.
Yeah, I think he's been a little quicker through the factory, I believe. They were both in Bowser's Keep at the same. There we go.
Yep.
Hey there, SM by.
Hello.
How you doing?
Oh, you know, Bowser's Keep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, I'm sorry that Smithy hit so hard.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm not sure Dark Master's actually sorry.
You did a really great job on that Smithy fight, considering that you went in without group hug, one Cura Cola, and not very many red essences. Like, I was thinking, I want to be worried, but I have a feeling he's going to be able to pull this off, because you also had the EXP booster and we're at a decently high.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Peach ended at 25.
Oh my gosh, that's even higher than I thought.
She had it from like start to end.
Oh, I thought you had a Mario. Okay. For at least some of it.
Well, you did at the start, and then I got a tax scarf like right away.
Oh, alright.
That's right, that's right.
So, Gozengata's actually caught up to Terrorban, and they're on the same fight now.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty exciting race to the end for those two.
And I'm not actually sorry because we got the chocolate bun cake. So.
Mm-hmm. How can you be mad when you get chocolate bun cake?
So,
I'm glad we got to see it.
what did you think about that scene otherwise, SMI? Were there like kind of any sticking points or things that you thought like were very memorable about it, or was it just kind of like, you know, full clear it, do what you gotta do?
I don't know, when I got 6 stars, I said, if I don't go to Bowser's Keep, I'm probably gonna lose. But I decided against that anyways.
That was actually pretty exciting to watch on our side because you and Locke finished Bowser's Keep and Volcano at the same time, and we were all like on the edge of our seat, like, okay, who's gonna get the star piece? Who's gonna get the star piece?
Oh man.
And as you can see, Locke picked right on that. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a bit.
Luck of the draw right there, but now
Yep.
that, like, with D2S, those two dungeons, I feel like they take a little bit closer together in the amount of time commitment you have to take, so, like, it really is just luck of the draw with those two dungeons. But you both did a fantastic job in the factory and had very exciting smithy fights.
That Bowser's Keep was the worst. I had to do like 3 battle doors.
yeah,
I think I did the same.
yeah, it's just extra XP for Smithy. You needed it. The game knew what you needed.
It must have, because I sure didn't.
Gozen actually got one of the randomized puzzle doors, so we got to see that.
Yeah, we got at least one of those. He got the magic buttons. No one seemed to hit the ball solitaire.
I was thinking of going like door 6 because I don't think anybody would pick door 6.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think
it is.
anybody did.
It is kind of out of the way. Usually you want to go for door 3 as the shortest distance.
Yeah, that's usually what I do.
With door rando, is it randomized based on the frames, or is it just always the same and just randomized per door? Like, does it randomize between doors?
Oh, no, the room order is set on seed generation.
Oh, okay.
But the door order is like how it works in vanilla. You just don't know what door is what.
Okay. Make sure, okay.
Yeah, so like the actual room order in doors 1 to 6 is set for the seed, but which door is 1 to 6 it works like vanilla.
Alright, that's cool.
There are very many weapons that were better than Ultra Hammer.
Mega
I don't
Punch.
think so.
Mega Punch was stronger.
What was that one?
I don't remember. There was a couple that dropped.
Oh, I never got one.
Taylor Van opted to buy a bunch of rock candies.
Well, you know, that's what saved my butt in Smithy 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a very good call.
I'm glad the Shapers did not have more than 600 health.
Were pick-me-ups a fraud coin item in this seed?
You know, they were at Tadpole Discount Shop.
Ah.
Actually, I never checked after Alto, but it was there after.
Yeah, they were there. I think I grabbed like 2 or 3 of them there with the red essences.
Alright, so Terravan and Gozengata getting to the end of the factory. We're in the home stretch.
Ooh. Hidden, almost just obliterating Zelda.
I'm still extremely happy that that's the skin we got for Geno in the seed.
It was a good way to showcase SMRP Go World.
If there's any like appropriate sprite for any of the pal swaps, it's gonna be that one on speed gaming, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm very happy with the palette swaps and the chocolate bunny.
I'm really excited to see which of these two beats Smithy first. What do you guys think is gonna happen? That question's open to everyone in this call.
It's gonna be pretty close. Like right now, Terravan's about 1 fight ahead. Like 1 and a bit, I guess. But I'm not sure if his levels are higher than Gozengata's because I don't know what his level.
It's that opening sled. That opening sledge is going to decide everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd also like to see what they have in their inventories right now.
Lots and lots of bombs and rock candies.
I would hope so.
On to Pandorite. I like that Pandorite's the last boss before Smithy and even has the music.
I'm gonna go with my boy Ghost God. I believe.
I was happy that we were done with like all the endgame bosses halfway through it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, same. Those are scary later on, so I'm glad we did find him in the beginning.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because the factory part had a lot of early game bosses.
Yeah, I usually tend to adopt the strategy of I will save once in the beginning, then I just run through. So then when I knew there was only like early game bosses, I was like, I'm just gonna run straight to Smithy.
I once had a factory where every single enemy in the factory was from Moleville or earlier.
I was a bit disappointed that Kulix and Land's End didn't have a star.
Yeah, that looked like a difficult fight.
We still don't know who's at Kulek's location, but we should be able to figure out.
Oh, I did all the bosses here at that Kulix.
Oh, Jared. Oh, that'd be rough.
Yeah, that sounds
Who
awful.
was there?
Yared.
Oh yeah, that's gotta be it. Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds real fun.
Yeah.
I did every other boss, so
Yeah, I think we saw them all.
including Chester.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody do it while we're waiting for the finisher.
Alright, I got you.
Actually, backtracking out of the factory sounds like a nightmare, so if you can get out of there before they're done, good luck.
I got you, don't worry.
I
Trace.
believe. Ooh, nice freebie on a power blast. The opening sledge didn't kill anybody, so that's really good for Terravan.
Yeah.
And he's opting for the immediate red essence, which is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it took Mario to 3, so...
Oh, he doesn't
killed
have
Mario.
any party healing items, does he? He's only got max mushrooms.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
I don't even think I found
Ooh,
that.
this is gonna hurt. Yep.
Terra could be in trouble here. But let's see how far he gets.
He's got a lot of
Let's
rest.
listen to it. That's true. The red essences, honestly, he could pull through.
So sad.
What about your Sia, dude?
I sold
I
it.
sold it.
Oh my gosh, you guys, yeah. Honestly,
Well-
not a bad move.
You know what? See ya.
This is why I
Only
make
fired,
like
five
4 saves in every file.
Oh, you too, huh? You
Yeah,
you got into the fight.
I got the 2 yellow and the 2 black, so...
I got like
on the
3
way,
pink
I
and
got...
red
Yeah, I
and
got those
green.
on the way in the raid.
Almost synced. So Gozen is heading into Smithy now. I wonder if his inventory config is different from Terravan's, if they're going to be doing different things.
Never opting to do the 3 red essence strat. I wonder if he knows that you can't Geno boost on red essence.
Ooh, so that's rough for Gozen. Mario went down immediately.
Oh, I think he's No, he's a lot lower, I think, than Caravan Mario.
Yeah, his
Well-
HP is a little lower.
Terravan's Mario survived with only 3 health, so I don't know if it's that much lower. Yeah, he's like 10 HP lower or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's maybe like 1 level difference, 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that can be the deciding factor.
It can.
It sure could. Speaking of which,
How does this rando work? The answer to that is... well. The real answer is, we randomize bosses, chests, pretty much every item, every boss, even pallets, it's all randomized. And you have to beat bosses to get 7 stars, and then you go to the factory and fight Smithy. This is the short answer to that.
The real answer is it doesn't work.
So sometimes when I'm developing this randomizer, it feels like, it feels like you're building a very nicely constructed, a very well urban planned house, and then like 3 months into living into it, you find out one of your support beams is an ice cream sandwich.
That's pretty accurate, actually. And then you realize the only way you can get to the ice cream sandwich is you just gotta like destroy all the walls. You got to rip it all down.
I just realized the problem with the Helix thing. I don't know where a shiny stone is.
You buy it in the vanilla spot.
We trade.
We have to do the minecart thing, I think, first. I'm hoping there's one in the Rockpoint shop.
You can't buy fireworks anymore.
You can buy the shiny stone though.
You can?
Unless you guys change that, you can buy the shiny.
I had that in my practice sheet earlier. It was in the practice shop.
Not this time, though.
The more you know.
Yeah, so if you don't have a SNES, this does work on emulator as well. There's plenty of people that play this on emulator. It is actually possible to play this on original hardware as well. If you have a flash card, the SD to SNES with the latest firmware has support for the SA1 chip that this game uses.
Yeah, shut up, Red Guy. That's the name, right? Red Guy?
Yeah, Red Guy is the one who added both Super FX and SA1 support just last year to the SD to SNES, which was an absolutely incredible device.
Mm-hmm. Truly a legend.
Oh, I think Smithy's breaking the stream.
He is not happy about these rock candies.
The streamers are back! We did it!
We back.
We in there. Alright, so Terravan has made it to Smithy 2. And Gozengata is hitting a brick wall here with Smithy 1.
Mm-hmm. So now that Terravan is past the initial hurdle of Smithy 1, he's probably going to be fine from here on out, I think. I think he's got this in the bag.
Yeah, I think these looking pretty good now. So Gozengata is bringing in Peach, or Tia, sorry.
My girl Tia. I'm so happy for how her story ends up in the Lufia 2 remake. No spoilers, but that game is awesome.
It sure is. So bringing in Peach instead of Mallow for the group hug. I guess just because Peach is a higher level. Gozen's at least got the power blast or the attack boost.
Lock, going on the minecart.
I thought they were going to fight Kulix. What is happening?
Well, you
I need the firework.
he's a long way away, man. I think minecart to get Kulix, obviously.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
He's in another plane of existence.
And speaking of mini game, randomizing the minecart layout for these mode 7 sections would be pretty neat.
Isn't that a Switch project?
Yeah, it's a Switch
I think
project. But I try to help him out with it. The code is something else. It's not like you think it would be. You think it would just be like a tile set. Each one would just be like a single byte. It's not that way. I don't know. How to
dear.
describe it.
Oh my.
Honestly, I don't even know what I would expect.
I mean, that would be the obvious thing because you only have 100 and like something tile sets, and you just tie the physics to the graphics. It would be easy, but I don't know. Did the stream die again?
Yes, it did. I'm letting them know. So, how you guys doing?
I'm frozen in fear at what could be happening behind this picture.
I think Smithy's frozen in fear.
Well, while we're waiting for the stream to come back up, I just want to thank you all for watching this and for enjoying this randomizer. For those of you who weren't aware of this randomizer before, please type !SMRPG in the chat and feel free to check it out. It's pretty fun, and we're always making new features for it, so if it's something that you like, then definitely try to keep up to date with it. We also have a Twitter account for the randomizer that's brand new, but most of the updates get posted in the Discord.
I'm really glad people enjoy it as much as they do, because start wasn't quite sure and spent, what, 6-7 months on it, and I never knew how it would turn out, and it turned out way better than I expected. And then it's only been getting better since then. So
It sounds like Terravan just finished.
Yep.
Terravan, yep.
Smithy down.
GG's to him.
This is an ASMR stream now.
I'm still trying to get the Culix, and I forgot I didn't have enough money for firework.
Oh no!
You're kind of wrecked your minecart to us. You're just stuck in the middle of a wasteland.
It sounds like Gozen has made it past Smithy 1, which
Yes.
is awesome.
Yep, he's on phase 2.
I believe in Gozen. I guess if Terravan wants to, we could get him in here.
Yep, sure, if he wants to hop in.
ASMRPG, my god. I never even thought about
Wow. Oh, now it died completely.
I think that's just them trying to fix it. Yeah, it's just getting fixed.
Yep, Saku's on.
The seal has been broken. Oh, here we go. We're back.
Alright, so Locke is fighting the Kulix Yuridovich fight. Gonna see how bad Kulix is. Let's see how rough this water blast is.
Well, that's not
Okay,
so
that's
bad.
not bad.
Smithy was extremely scarier. This is not bad at all.
Oh, you're just mulching him, dude.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Smithy was rough this seed. Okay, Gozen is on the mage head, and he is dishing out a ton of damage.
Yeah, he's doing very well for himself in this fight right now. Getting over that first hurdle of Smithy 1 is always terrifying because he does summon those 2 Shy Guys. And when you have, like, Sledge and 2 arrow sword rains coming out on the same turn, that's a lot. That can be a lot scarier than anything Smithy 2 can do. At least he only gets 1 spell per turn.
Oh yeah. Danger Taters. So I think the record we have is Caleb Hart did a seed where he got like a 140 something, like a 144. Something like that.
Truly the god of rando.
The god seed.
That was like, it was after like a 7-minute factory wipe, and it was just like the funniest seed ever.
Nice, and Locke has taken down Yuridovich. Got like 460 XP for that.
Essenby now on the journey to Kulex.
Going for it.
Oh, he's really going for it.
It looks like he's going to beat his PB for worst minecart time possible.
Yeah, so there's some people in the community recently have been competing to try to get the worst minecart time, the slowest they can.
I'm digging Terravan's Homer Simpson on the bottom of this feed.
Oh! I thought that was Mallow!
GG's to Gozen! Our racers have all finished.
Nice.
Fantastic work to all runners. GG's. Well played.
Yeah, I mean, considering, like, you know, the variability in where you check and everything here, they're, you know, all the runners finishing about 45 minutes of each other.
Yeah, that's not too bad considering, like, the decision-making that had to go into the end game of which dungeon to do. Gozen found star pieces fairly early, and then it was a while before he found the 7th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the last star piece being at the Exor spot, you know, all the way at the back of Bowser's Keep. And most of the star pieces in this seed were actually fairly deep, you know, behind boss fights and whatnot. Makes a lot of sense that it took a while for them to find.
My god, you could make a Homer Simpson Mallow.
Totally could.
My god.
All right, so we'll see if we can get Gozengata in here for a quick interview. We have a small amount of time before the next scheduled race.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Gozengata.
GG, guys.
Hey, Gozengata. Good race.
GG.
GG.
Yeah, GG to all of you. That Smithy fight, man, I'm sorry. Smithy was rough this season.
It's my own fault. I made it rough.
You all played very well considering like how difficult that Smithy one was, so GG's to all of you. It was really interesting seeing like the different order that you guys all did, like the early dungeons. Gozen, actually you were like an entire star piece behind Terravan, and then you caught like right up to him at the very end. That was really cool.
I got stuck at one point and I went, no, this isn't the play. And I said before the race even started, I'm like, if I'm at 1 star, go to Bowser's Keep. Just go to Bowser's Keep. It's going to be there. I didn't do it. The whole time I'm like, no, we're going to do quick check here. Got it. Quick check here. Got it. Got myself to 1 and I went, this Exor spot. It's Exor. He's here. I got keys. I'm going to say Logic's pointing me here. No, I was
wrong. Yeah, you got debated there.
So hard. But it was, honestly, it was good. I'm really sad and happy at the same time. No healer going through the end was super rough for me, and I really wish, like, in retrospect, I put the XP booster on Mallow for that reason, but I'm really happy I didn't because Peach carried for.
Mm-hmm.
You had it on Peach also?
Yeah, I put the EXP booster on Peach from the beginning, so they had it really early.
Wow, wait.
Yeah. The
there's
Tinker
Darren.
Peach.
Oh, I got away with so much stuff.
Dude,
GG.
your Smithy fight had me hella scared, and I'm really happy you pulled it off.
Yeah,
Oh, me
Smithy was
too.
hairy.
Well, it's a good thing I just happened to buy 9 Redis.
That was an incredibly smart move. I was like really worried. I'm like, oh my gosh, he doesn't have group hug or any group healing items. What's he gonna do? Oh, look at that entire page of red essences.
I had 2. Yeah, I had 2 characters down at 2 early fights. I almost died there twice. I had a boss fight I would have lost, except the hit put Mario at exactly 1.
Ooh.
I got a freebie on that Power Blast. I got a freebie on an Ice Bomb I used early on.
Always
man.
lucky. Always lucky.
Mushroom
Nah.
Wave was rough.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to come in any further than last, though. That was pretty good.
Who died at Croco one spot and having not saved until
Oh, hey there.
Okay,
It sure wasn't me.
Yeah, no, I lost like 20 minutes on that.
that was brutal. That was
rough.
brutal.
Mushroom Wave was rough. I wasn't expecting rats.
All this time, someone. Oh,
I also wasn't expecting to start with 5 FP.
I said to myself, I'm gonna save at every save point just to be safe. And the first save point I skipped was the one at Land's End, and immediately walked into one of those 3 canines and died.
Oh no!
Then went back to Neva's Land.
Oof. Yeah. Yeah. So the starting FP was 5. That's quite low.
I didn't know it could randomize that or that low.
That's the lowest I've seen so far.
Yeah, I mean the vanilla value is 10, so it is possible, but it's pretty unlikely. That's a quite a low value.
Being able to use one whole jump.
Yeah, that's a rough.
Oh baby, one whole jump. I love it.
And it had
Yeah,
to be
this
used
city
on
has
the
some rough
rat.
things in it.
Yeah, but you guys all did a fantastic job, and GG to all 4 of you for finishing that. That was actually a really exciting Smithy fight to watch, like all your different strats, and well done to all of you, and thank you very much for participating in the showcase. Thanks SMBI for organizing it. Thank you very much to our trackers, Sinus and the Mighty Gliscor, for doing your tracking, and thank you to Feasel and the Speed Gaming team for having us and doing what you do.
That was really cool of them to have us on here.
Yeah, it was an absolute pleasure. Very cool. I'm glad we got to show this off for people. I'm glad y'all liked watching this in chat. Hopefully you give it a try and enjoy it as well. And thanks to my co-commentators and partners in crime in creating this monstrosity, Alan, M, and Pidge.
Yeah, it's us. It's been fun working with you guys.
Same.
For those of you in chat who would like to check this out, just look at the link that was just dropped by the Speed Gaming bot. The Randomizer beta site has information on generating the game, also what all the flags do, generally what all the bosses and all the spells do, if there's stuff you forget about the game, how to join our Discord, all that good stuff. You can also follow us on Twitter at SMRPG Randomizer, and we post updates on there as well, if that's more your thing. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. We are going to be signing off because up next in about 5 minutes is a Pac-Man World 2 race, I believe. So stay tuned for that and enjoy.